Phoenix Knights. Chapter 3444. The forces of the East Continent joined forces and attacked the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan while Gu Fei was away. In the beginning, it was very smooth. They even broke through the Chaos Golden Rock race's defensive array and killed their way into the Chaos Golden Rock race's ancestral land. However, the situation changed when Sun Ke and the others attacked. Sun Ke recovered his cultivation very quickly. The combat power he displayed was beyond everyone's expectations. Therefore, those who wanted to kill Sun Ke were out of luck. When the peerless expert who could fight endlessly with Sun Ke was killed by Sun Ke, the mysterious cultivators instantly scattered in all directions. However, the masked cultivators who came to attack the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan could no longer escape. 3 devil shadows that were so powerful that they caused people's hearts to palpitate walked over from afar. The 3 devil path experts made their move, and the devil path expert in the lead was naturally the Chaos Devil Ape. The Chaos Demon Ape let out a roar and spat out a stream of demonic fire towards the cultivators who were trying to escape. In the next moment, screams were heard. Several cultivators fell in the demonic fire. They were instantly burned into ashes and disappeared in the void. When the masked cultivators saw this, they immediately turned pale with fright and quickly retreated. At that moment, a demonic net descended from the sky and trapped the panicking cultivators. In the next moment, the cultivators screamed in pain. A thick layer of transparent ice grew on their bodies, turning them into ice sculptures. The demonic spider of Extremine was attacking. The demonic energy of Extremine spread out from the demonic net of Extremine, freezing all the cultivators who were enveloped by the net. Whoosh! A gust of wind blew and the ice sculptures fell to the ground. They were instantly smashed into pieces. Those who were turned into ice sculptures died instantly. Streams of essence rushed out from the broken ice, and were devoured by the demonic net. At the same time, the dragon head demon also attacked. However, it was not as gentle as the Chaos Demon Ape and the Tyene Demon Spider. It directly charged into the crowd. In the next moment, the crowd was immediately covered in blood and flesh. Most of the cultivators didn't even have time to let out a scream before they were blasted into a mist of blood by the dragon head demon's fist. The dragon head demon's body was like a bottomless devil's nest. It was actually devouring the blood mist, directly absorbing the enormous essence energy contained in the blood mist. Bathed in blood, the dragon head demon appeared even more ferocious. His murderous nature and demonic nature were completely stimulated by the blood. A mass of blood-colored demonic light appeared on his body. The task of cleaning up the battlefield was naturally left to the others. However, just when everyone thought that the mysterious cultivators had been completely annihilated, an arrow suddenly fell from the sky and shot toward Sun Ke's head at an extremely fast speed. Sun Ke stretched out his hand and grabbed the sharp arrow that was shooting toward his head. "Who are you, scoundrel? Do you dare to come out and fight me?" Sun Ke scanned the surroundings and a domineering aura erupted from his body. His eyes were like cold stars shining in the darkness, and his murderous intent soared into the sky. Kacha! He exerted force in his hand and broke the black arrow in his hand. However, at that moment, the response to Sun Ke was a series of extremely sharp arrowlights. The arrowlights fell from the sky and shot toward Sun Ke and the others. It was as though there was a rain of arrows in the sky. Everyone was shocked. "Preposterous!" Sun Ke roared angrily, and his eyes turned sharp. He stretched out his hand and slapped toward the sky. The golden rock's divine power exploded and a giant golden hand appeared in the void, blocking the entire sky. Countless sharp arrows that fell from the sky shattered under his giant golden hand. Extreme Dell-level energy waves spread from the giant golden hand. Rumble! The giant golden hand crushed the countless arrowlights and rushed into the sky. Countless stars shook as though they were about to fall from the starry sky. Sun Ke actually killed old ancestor Mo. Chapter 3445. Although Sun Ke's golden palm reached the starry sky, it posed no threat to the mysterious expert standing on the other side of the starry sky. Swoosh! The mysterious powerhouse drew the bow in his hand. As the bow was drawn, the power of the stars and the surroundings immediately converged towards the bow in the mysterious powerhouse's hand. The pitch-black bow lit up, and rays of divine light circled around it. Ancient and mysterious patterns appeared on the body of the bow, and a powerful extreme power spread out from the bow. Extreme Tao-level power quickly gathered on the bowstring, and a divine arrow immediately appeared on the bowstring. At this moment, the divine light emitted by the endless power of the stars was much brighter than the stars in the surrounding starry sky. Samke, let's see if you can withstand my strongest arrow. As the mysterious expert spoke, he had already drawn the bow in his hand completely, and his aura had also risen to the limit. A terrifying extreme power spread from the divine bow, and the entire starry sky was shaking. The dozen or so stars closest to the mysterious expert directly exploded. The power of the stars turned into streaks of divine rainbows that flew towards the huge bow and entered the divine arrow on the bowstring. The fluctuation of the extreme power that spread from the bow became even stronger. This was an arrow that had gathered the monstrous power of the stars. The power of this arrow was probably enough to destroy the entire East continent. Therefore, Sun Ke had no choice but to withstand this arrow. If he could withstand it, everyone would be happy. If he couldn't, the countless living beings of the entire East continent would be buried with him. At this moment, the golden palm that Sun Ke had shot out dissipated in the starry sky. At the same time, Sun Ke finally sensed the threat from the other side of the starry sky. Not only Sun Ke, but the other unparalleled experts of the East continent also sensed the terrifying fluctuation of energy from the other side of the starry sky. Crazy, that guy is crazy! An angry roar was heard from the ancestral land of the mysterious Snake clan. Immediately after, a ball of divine light appeared in the sky above the ancestral land of the mysterious Snake clan and enveloped the ancestral land. The mysterious Snake clan had started a defensive battle. This was a last resort. Even if the East continent was destroyed, the mysterious Snake clan's ancestral land would survive under the protection of the Ultimate Guardian formation. The Celestial God clan and the Earth Spirit clan also took action and activated the defensive formation. Who hired that guy? I'll beat him to death! An ancestor of the Heavenly God clan roared. In the Earth Spirit clan's ancestral land, the Earth Spirit Emperor's face was gloomy. That guy is a little too much. The voice of the Earth Spirit Emperor echoed in the spacious hall. At this moment, on the other side of the starry sky, all the stars in the starry sky dimmed. The divine light emitted by the man in the bow was countless times brighter than any other stars, illuminating the entire starry sky. The bow in the hands of the mysterious expert was incredible. It had actually gathered the power of the stars of a small half of the star field. Such a powerful force, once erupted, would definitely destroy the world. Could it be that guy? Outside the chaotic golden rock race's ancestral land, Sun Ke suddenly thought of someone. His expression immediately turned grave. What a powerful energy fluctuation! The demon god and the others could naturally sense the energy fluctuation from the other side of the starry sky. They couldn't help but change their expressions. Who's causing trouble? At this moment, on a mountain ridge outside the Black Demon Sea in the East Continent, a black-robed young man raised his head and looked at the starry sky. His gaze seemed to be able to penetrate the starry sky and see the other side of the starry sky. Even outside the Black Demon Sea, he could sense the powerful aura from the other side of the starry sky. The black-robed young man was Gu Fei. He had left the chaotic golden rock race's ancestral land and came to the Black Demon Sea. He had wandered in the Black Demon Sea before, so he naturally wanted to come back and take a look. However, unlike the last time, he was outside the Black Demon Sea this time. Previously, he had directly appeared in the Black Demon Sea. At this moment, the entire starry sky above the firmament suddenly shook. Then, an immortal divine light directly penetrated the starry sky from the other side of the starry sky and directly shot down on the East continent. Rumble! With the descent of the divine light, the entire heaven and earth began to tremble. The entire void was shaken by the vast power of the divine light. The terrifying energy fluctuation shrouded the entire East continent. The souls of countless living beings were trembling as if doomsday had arrived. As a matter of fact, it was truly the end of the world. If no one stopped the destructive arrow, the entire eastern continent would be destroyed. It would definitely be a disaster for the living beings of the entire East continent. That's a little too much. Gu Fei, who was standing on the peak of the mountain ridge outside the Black Demon Sea, couldn't help but narrow his eyes when he saw that scene. The guy who attacked had no scruples and didn't care about the lives of billions of living beings at all. If the arrow really blew up the entire East continent, it would cause an unimaginable massacre that would harm the harmony of heaven and earth. Of course, a peerless expert whose cultivation base had reached a level where he could destroy heaven and earth would naturally not care about heaven and earth. So what if he harmed the harmony of heaven and earth? Such an existence could directly ignore the punishment of heaven and earth. Gu Fei didn't plan to attack because someone else had already done so. A gigantic golden rock soared from the ground. Waves of power at the extreme Tau level spread from the golden rock. The golden rock was like a golden sun, its body emitting golden rays that lit up the entire night sky. The golden rock spread its wings and shrieked. It instantly turned into an immortal golden ray and collided with the arrow that was descending from the sky. Immediately after, a loud bang spread across the entire East continent. A gigantic black hole appeared in the sky above the East continent. This was a scene that countless cultivators would never forget. The chaotic golden rock that soared from the ground was directly shot by the arrow that descended from the sky. Golden feathers flew and chaotic blood splattered. The scene was extremely realistic, as if a chaotic golden rock had really been shot to death by an arrow. The energy fluctuations that erupted directly caused the void to be annihilated. A huge black hole that appeared high up in the sky was filled with primal chaos chi. However, to everyone's astonishment, the sword light did not dissipate after shooting the chaotic golden rock. It continued to shoot toward the East continent. What? Senkei coughed out a large mouthful of blood. Just now, he used all his strength, but he still couldn't block that arrow and was heavily injured. When he saw that the arrow was still shooting towards the ground, his body couldn't help but tremble, and he directly sat on the ground. Let me! Chapter 3446. The mysterious powerhouse shot a destructive arrow at Senkei from the other side of the starry sky. The might of this arrow shook the galaxy. It was unknown how many times more resplendent the immortal arrow light was compared to those bright stars. Wherever the arrow light passed, the stars directly exploded, and the power of the stars all fused into that arrow. Therefore, when the arrow pierced through the starry sky and landed on the land of the East continent, it was at its strongest. The power of the arrow shot by the mysterious powerhouse was enough to destroy the entire East continent. This was without a doubt. The powerhouses in the entire East continent felt threatened when the divine arrow fell from the sky. The other three major clans of the East continent activated their defensive formations to protect their ancestral lands. The ancestral lands of the chaotic Golden Rock clan were the first to be affected. This was because the target of the arrow shot by the powerhouse from the other side of the starry sky was Senkei and the ancestral lands that he had just rebuilt. Anyone could have dodged this arrow, but not Quebec. If he did, the Chaos Golden Rock race would be done for. Roar! Senkei raised his head to the sky and roared. The divine power of the Golden Rock surged from his body and 9 divine inscriptions circled around him. The shadow of a golden bird rushed out from his body and directly flew towards the arrow of light that shot down from the sky. The chaotic Golden Rock spread its wings and unleashed the power of the extreme grade. Boom! With a loud bang, the chaotic Golden Rock that had charged out of Senkei's body collided with the god's destruction arrow that had descended from the sky. In the next moment, the chaotic Golden Rock let out a miserable cry as it had actually exploded from the arrow. Senkei's body trembled and he spat out a mouthful of blood. It was chaotic blood. Every drop of blood contained the chaotic Golden Rock divine power. The chaotic golden rock's shadow that rushed out of his body was shot down by the divine arrow. He suffered a great impact and looked exhausted. However, what shocked Sun Ke was that after the arrow destroyed the chaotic golden rock's shadow, it was still shooting at him. "Damn it, I'm going to kill you!" Sun Ke was about to spit out the extreme grade divine sword that he refined in the past to fight the guy in the sky. At that moment, a figure walked out and stood in front of him. "Let me!" He stared at the immortal light arrow that shot down from the sky with a solemn expression. In the next moment, countless Tao runes rushed out from his body. Countless Tao patterns were imprinted in the void, forming a huge array. Boom! The void rumbled, and the formation began to operate quickly. A huge black hole immediately appeared in the formation. Then, an extreme Tao-level devouring power immediately surged out from the formation, wanting to devour the arrow light falling from the sky. The demon god's power was mighty, the earth was shaking, and the void was annihilated. When the demon god attacked with full force, it also had the power to destroy heaven and earth. Everyone was shocked to the extreme when they saw that scene. The demon god stood on the ground with his long hair dancing wildly, his tall figure full of power. Swoosh! The annihilating god arrow shot into a black hole created by the demon god's formation power. The next moment, the black hole exploded. The demon god let out a muffled groan as if he was hit by an invisible divine mountain. His entire body was sent flying. Boom! With a loud sound, he hit a stone mountain thousands of feet away, and the entire stone mountain was directly smashed by him. Suddenly, rocks flew into the sky, dust was flying everywhere, and the area around the stone mountain was raining stones. Seeing that scene, everyone was dumbfounded. The demon god was not a weakling. His cultivation was extremely powerful. Even if he was not as strong as Sun Ke, he was not far behind. However, the arrow from the extraterrestrial expert was able to directly break the demon god's divine power. The power of that arrow was simply heaven-defying. After breaking the demon god's divine power, the arrow light directly shot towards Sun Quebec. This time, no one stood up to block the arrow for Sun Quebec. Although it was blocked twice, the star power fluctuation emitted by the arrow light was still powerful enough to make Sun Ke feel despair. "Is this the legendary annihilating arrow shot by the sky punishing bow?" An old voice rang out, and an old man appeared in the sky. That old man was the Eastern Pole Old Man. The arrow shot by the expert from beyond the heavens had caused too much of a commotion, so it naturally alerted the old man. "What, the sky punishing bow? The sky punishing bow appeared again?" Hearing the East Pole Old Man's words, some old antique experts were shocked. No wonder the arrow light was so powerful. It turned out to be the annihilating arrow shot by the sky punishing bow. The sky punishing bow and the annihilating arrow were very famous in that ancient era. That was because there was really someone who held the sky punishing bow and shot an arrow to destroy a part of the world. That madman actually obtained the legendary sky punishing bow? Some people still knew some details about the extraterrestrial expert. After all, those forces in the East Continent wanted to take advantage of the fact that Gu Fei was not in the chaotic Golden Rock Clan's ancestral land to wipe out the chaotic Golden Rock Clan's ancestral land. The extraterrestrial expert was a helper hired by one of those forces. "Arrow Ancestor, is it really him? It seems like only that madman can shoot such a shocking arrow." At that moment, the demon Venerable's voice sounded. He walked out from the rubble. He was the first to bear the brunt of the divine ability being broken, so he was heavily injured. "Arrow Ancestor?" Sun Ke was very puzzled. It was the first time he heard this name. It seemed like this Arrow Ancestor was an ancestral god realm expert who rose after he was lost in the chaotic demon realm. However, he didn't have time to think too much because the Arrow Ancestor's arrow was already shooting towards him. Sun Ke was about to spit out his divine sword, but at that moment, a hand suddenly stretched out from the side and grabbed the arrow light in front of Sun Quebec. "What?" Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. They hurriedly looked over and saw that the person who had caught the arrow was a black-clothed young man. This black-clothed young man wasn't very handsome, but he had a unique charm that made it hard for others to forget his appearance with a single glance. Master? The demon Venerable was surprised and overjoyed when he saw the black-robed young man. The black-robed young man was Gu Fei. He actually returned at this time. Gu Fei's return surprised and delighted the chaotic Golden Rock clan. At that moment, Gu Fei exerted force in his right hand that grabbed the arrow light. The arrow light in his hand immediately shattered, turned into specks of spiritual light, and dissipated in the void. "Greetings, Master." The 3 stone devils hurriedly walked over and knelt before Gu Fei. They were sincerely convinced that Gu Fei's battle strength was really amazing. "Get up!" With a wave of Gu Fei's hand, the 3 gargoyles involuntarily stood up from the ground. "What?" The moment Gu Fei crushed the arrow light, the arrow ancestor, who was on the other side of the starry sky, sensed that his arrow had been destroyed. "Who the hell is it?" The mysterious man's body was shrouded in divine light. The black bow in his hand had already calmed down. At this moment, the black bow didn't seem to be attractive at all. However, it was this huge bow that had almost destroyed the eastern continent. Even if it hadn't, the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land would have been destroyed. "Master, you're finally back." Yuqiong walked over from afar. However, Gu Fei ignored Yuqiong and looked up at the stars in the sky. His gaze seemed to be able to penetrate the starry sky and fell on the arrow ancestor. In the next moment, Gu Fei's figure disappeared into the void without any warning. No one could see how he disappeared. Everyone was shocked. They could guess where Gu Fei had gone. The Eastern Pole old man also left. Some old antiques also soared into the sky and rushed into the starry sky. At this moment, Gu Fei's figure had already appeared in the depths of the starry sky. However, no matter how fast he was still one step too late. He could only see a blur disappearing into the boundless starry sky. "Humph! You sure run fast," Gu Fei muttered to himself. He took a step forward and countless stars swept past him. It was as if the entire world had turned upside down. In the next moment, he appeared in the sky above the eastern continent. He took another step forward and arrived in the sky above the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. Such speed left even the ancient existences astonished. It was even faster than teleportation. Gu Fei's 8 desolation steps allowed him to travel in all directions. This wasn't a lie. What the hell happened? Gu Fei returned as quickly as he went. He arrived in front of Tsang Ke and asked coldly. He scanned the surroundings and saw corpses all over the place. It was obvious how fierce the battle was. Tsang Ke sighed. His tense nerves immediately relaxed when he saw Gu Fei return. He sat down on the ground and crossed his legs. "Someone wants to destroy my chaotic Golden Rock clan." After Tsang Ke said that, he started to circulate his Xian Qi to heal his injuries. There aren't many forces in the eastern continent that have the ability to do so. Would they dare to do such a thing? Gu Fei's face darkened. Since the 3 forces didn't know what was good for them, they shouldn't blame him for being ruthless. At that moment, the 3 stone demons, Yuqiong, the Venerable Beast God, the Golden Rock Goddess, and the others walked over. The 3 stone demons were full of vitality, and had obtained quite a lot of benefits. The Venerable Beast God, on the other hand, was unlucky. Not only did he not obtain any benefits, but he was also seriously injured. The onlookers retreated at that moment because there was no more fun to watch. Naturally, there were people from the 3 forces among them. I'll make sure they won't be able to cry even if they wanted to. Chapter 3447. The reappearance of the heaven-punishing bow shocked all the experts of the eastern continent. One had to know that the heaven-punishing bow was an extreme divine artifact, and the world annihilation arrow it shot out was an arrow that could destroy heaven and earth. The arrow ancestor actually obtained the heaven-punishing bow. An old voice came from a palace in the ancestral grounds of the deity race. There were many powerful figures standing in the palace, and there was an old man sitting on the throne in the middle of the palace. This was a senile old man. His hair and teeth were almost all gone. He curled up on the throne, looking listless. However, the group of people standing in front of the throne didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Things have become a little troublesome. However, it's only fun when there are variables. Looks like it's time to go out and meet some old friends. The old man muttered to himself. All the big shots of the deity clan standing below didn't dare to speak. The old ancestor is going to take action personally? Hearing the old man's words, all the big shots of the deity race standing in the main hall were surprised and delighted. Yuqiong's betrayal had caused the deity race to lose all face. Since Gu Fei was so powerful, the deity race naturally did not dare to provoke Gu Fei. Naturally, they also did not dare to touch that traitor Yuqiong. In the main hall, the deity race's young master, Muge, was the happiest because the deity race had suffered heavy losses in the immortal medicine ridge. Even Yuqiong had betrayed them. He had suffered a great loss in the hands of the demon god, so he naturally wanted revenge. If the old ancestor were to personally make a move, Sang Ke and the demonic god Venerable would be as vulnerable as clay chickens and pottery dogs. One must know that the old ancestor was a primogenitor-level primogenitor deity of the deity clan. At this time, in the ancestral land of the Earth Spirit clan, all the higher-ups of the Earth Spirit clan had gathered in the depths of the earth, in a divine palace that was enveloped by a mass of Earth Essence Chi. Boss has been captured. How are we going to resolve this? In the main hall of the divine palace stood the most important figures of the Earth Spirit clan. Some of the experts of the Earth Spirit clan had been in seclusion for countless years. However, they had no choice but to come out at this moment. The three figures standing at the front seemed to have existed since time immemorial. The aura they exuded was extremely ancient and vicissitudes of life. However, the throne in the main hall was empty, because not everyone could sit on that seat. We just don't know what to do. That's why we asked the three ancestors to come out and take charge, the leader of the Earth Spirit clan said in a respectful manner. In front of these three ancestors, the person who was high and mighty, who could shake the entire eastern continent with a single step, had completely lost his temper. Humph! I really don't know what Big Brother is thinking. He actually made you the leader of the Earth Spirit clan, another old ancestor said with a displeased expression. The leader of the Earth Spirit clan was a middle-aged man with a majestic appearance. However, at this moment, he was a yes man and obediently accepted his ancestor's lecture. You're saying that a person called Gu Fei took boss away? A short ancestor who looked like a 7 or 8-year-old child suddenly said with a smile. Yes, fourth ancestor. The leader of the Earth Spirit clan said hurriedly. Second brother, third brother, how about we go and meet this Gu Fei? The old ancestor in black clothes who looked like a child said. He was very curious. No one knew better than him how powerful Big Brother was. Who else in this world could take him away? Alright, I also want to know what that guy is capable of. How could he take boss away? The tall old ancestor said angrily. Because of Big Brother's presence, they could cultivate in seclusion without being affected by worldly affairs. Then let's go. What are you waiting for? The third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan said. Third brother, you're still so impatient. Looks like you haven't changed at all after cultivating in seclusion for so long. The second ancestor glanced at the third ancestor and said, Let's go. What are you waiting for? The fourth ancestor said and disappeared from the main hall. No one could see how he disappeared. Second brother, look, the fourth brother is even more impatient than me. The third ancestor said. Humph! The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan ignored the third ancestor and disappeared into the void. The third ancestor shook his head and took a step forward. The void distorted and he stepped into the void, passing through the void. They're finally gone! The clan leader of the Earth Spirit clan heaved a sigh of relief when he saw that the three ancestors had left. The aura of the three ancestors was too powerful. Even he found it difficult to bear, let alone the others in the hall. Lord Clan Leader, do you think the three ancestors can save great ancestor destruction? A middle-aged man in white clothes with a black beard said. How would I know? The leader of the Earth Spirit clan said impatiently. Humph! Gu Fei, Sang Ke, you're out of luck. the leader of the Earth Spirit Clan thought. As the three great ancestors of the Earth Spirit Clan left the Earth Spirit Clan's ancestral land, a huge figure emerged from an ancient cave in the mysterious Snake Clan's territory that was absorbing chaotic chi. Countless snakes gathered outside the ancient cave, forming a sea of snakes. The entire ancestral land of the mysterious Snake Clan was silent. All the snakes were coiled on the ground, motionless, as if they were dead. The sky above the ancient cave was shrouded in a towering chaotic chi. At this moment, a figure flickered in the sky and an old man appeared in the sky. "Thousand Snakes Pilgrimage, is the mysterious snake ancestor coming out of seclusion?" The old man muttered to himself. He was the East Pole Old Man. The East Pole Old Man's strength was undeniable. He was definitely one of the oldest and strongest living beings in the East Continent. He was definitely on par with Sung Quebec. "It's my honor to have an old friend visit." A wave of divine consciousness came from the chaotic ancient cave. The giant snake in the depths of the ancient cave seemed to have moved. The East Pole Old Man did not say anything. He pondered for a moment, and took a step forward. He walked down from the sky and entered the chaotic ancient cave. Just as the East Pole Old Man entered the chaotic ancient cave, three uninvited guests suddenly appeared outside the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan. The protective formation of the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan was immediately activated. A ball of divine light shrouded the entire ancestral land. "Listen up, the people inside. If you're smart, you'll release our boss. Otherwise, I'll kill all of you," a black-clothed kid shouted fiercely. The alarm bells rang in the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan. Soon, a group of soldiers rushed out of the ancestral land under the leadership of a warrior. "Get Gu Fei and Sung Ke out to see me," a tall and mighty expert said coldly. "What?" The leader of the group was shocked when he heard the man's words. Who on earth was this guy? Why did he want to see Gu Fei and Sung Ke the moment he arrived? This general naturally knew who Gu Fei and Sung Ke were. This fellow actually specifically said that he wanted to see Gu Fei and Sung Quebec. Could it be that he was someone with a great background? "Who are you?" Separated by a layer of divine light, the general carefully sized up the three experts standing outside. They did not give off any powerful auras. However, the general did not dare to underestimate the three fellows outside. "Cut the crap. Hurry up and get Gu Fei out," the leader of the group said in a deep voice. The leading expert said in a deep voice. He was already impatient from waiting. These three fellows were the three old ancestors of the Earth Spirit Clan. When the three old ancestors gathered together, their aura was absolutely earth-shattering. However, the protective formation of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan isolated the aura outside. Therefore, the warrior inside did not feel any pressure. "What did you say?" Hearing this, the battle general was instantly displeased. Even the battle soldiers behind him glared angrily at the Earth Spirit Clan's old ancestor. "Second brother, why are you still talking to them? Why don't we just charge in?" The third ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan grinned at the second ancestor. "Then let's charge." The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan said calmly. The third ancestor and the fourth ancestor were waiting for the second ancestor to say this. The third ancestor let out a cry and punched a layer of divine light in front of him. Boom! With a muffled sound, the entire formation shook. The power of this punch was so strong that it shook the entire protective formation beneath the feet of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan. The third ancestor retracted his fist. He was extremely shocked that the formation had blocked his attack with all his strength. The third ancestor could not help but be shocked. Again. The third ancestor roared and punched out with all his strength. 9 Tao patterns appeared on his palm and intertwined with each other. An extremely powerful aura surged out from his arm. Boom! There was a loud bang and the earth shook. The power of the third ancestor's punch was so powerful. However, the third ancestor and the others were dumbfounded. Although the punch was extremely powerful, it still could not break the protective formation of the chaotic Golden Rock Clan. How is this possible? The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was in disbelief. He was well aware of the extent of his third brother's battle strength. Even if his third brother's punch landed on the primordial sacred mountain, it would be smashed to pieces. Extreme formation. The fourth ancestor stared at the layer of divine light in front of him and said, "Extreme formation?" The second ancestor and the third ancestor were shocked when they heard the fourth ancestor's words, especially the third ancestor. He was sweating profusely and kept wiping the sweat off his forehead. One had to know that the extreme Tao array formation had both defensive and offensive capabilities. "You three lunatics, get out of here!" The general pointed at the Earth Spirit clan's second ancestor and the others and shouted. When the three primogenitors of the Earth Spirit clan arrived at the same time and attacked the protective formation, Gu Fei, who was in the ancestral land, had already sensed the three extremely powerful auras outside. Chapter 34-48. The three primogenitors of the Earth Spirit clan arrived outside the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. If it wasn't for the chaotic Golden Rock clan's defensive formation being activated in time, the three super antiques would have already killed their way into the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. "You three lunatics, why don't you get out of here?" Outside the defensive formation, the general pointed at the three primogenitors of the Earth Spirit clan and shouted, "You little thing, do you want to die?" Second ancestor's eyes widened, and there were actually countless patterns interweaving in his eyes. With a whoosh, two beams of divine light immediately rushed out of his eyes and pierced through the void. Those were two beams of divine light formed by the Tao runes of the Great Path. They contained the power of the Great Path, and were much stronger than an ordinary quasi-paragon saint weapon. However, the two beams of divine light were blocked the moment they collided with the light shield in front of them. Ripples immediately appeared on the shield. The general inside the shield was shocked by the sudden attack. However, he immediately calmed down when he saw that the shield in front of him could block the attack. "Old man, don't waste your energy. Do you want to kill me? Do you have the ability to do so?" the general said proudly. "Humph! Do you really think we can't kill you?" The progenitors of the three great Earth Spirit clans stared at the general in front of them. When they saw the proud look on his face, they really wanted to punch him into pieces. "Ha ha, then come and kill me. I'll stand here and let you kill me." The general laughed wantonly. He didn't believe that the three of them could break through their defensive formation because it was an extreme path killing formation. Damn it! The three primogenitors of the Earth Spirit clan were furious. The second ancestor directly spat out a beam of divine light that pierced through the general. An extreme path force rushed out of the divine light. "What?" The general was shocked. He saw that the divine light had actually pierced through the protective barrier in front of him, and was flying towards him. He had never thought that the other party would be able to break through the protective divine light in front of him and threaten his life. Just as he thought he was going to die, he felt his collar tighten, and then he was sent flying. The divine light flew past his feet. "This?" The general was both surprised and delighted. He hurriedly looked over and saw that the person who had helped him escape was actually a black-robed young man. This black-robed young man was expressionlessly sizing up the three supreme experts outside. "You actually dared to save the person I wanted to kill?" The second Earth Spirit ancestor stared at the black-clothed young man and said with a gloomy face. An eerie killing intent radiated from his body. With a wave of his right hand, the divine light broke through the layer of divine light and flew back to his hand. The divine light was actually a spear. There were countless Tao patterns on the spear that appeared and wove together, emitting an extreme power ripple. It was extremely terrifying. This spear was no small matter. No wonder it could pierce through the protective divine light formed by the chaotic Golden Rock clan's protective formation and almost kill the general. "TCH, I saved the person you wanted to kill. Are you going to kill me too?" the black-clothed young man said disapprovingly. "Since you've already guessed it, why don't you kill yourself? Do you want me to send you off personally?" The second Earth Spirit ancestor stared at the black-clothed young man. The murderous intent on his body grew even stronger. He had already decided to kill the black-clothed young man. For an existence like him, once he had the intention to kill someone, he would definitely kill the other party. After all, there was no turning back after a shot was fired. Ha ha! The black-clothed young man laughed out loud as if he had heard the funniest joke. Greetings, master. At this time, the general that the black-clothed young man had saved from the second Earth spirit ancestor saw the black-clothed young man's face clearly. He was immediately shocked and knelt on the ground. Greetings, master. The soldiers that the general led also knelt down to the black-clothed young man. Get up! The black-clothed young man waved his hand and said calmly. The general and the soldiers hurriedly stood up and retreated to the side respectfully. You are the master of these trash? Separated by a divine light, the second Earth spirit ancestor was a little surprised. He did not expect Gu Fei to be so young. When one's cultivation reached the level of the second Earth spirit ancestor, he could sense a cultivator's origin aura to determine a cultivator's cultivation age. To the second Earth spirit ancestor, Gu Fei was just too young. However, Gu Fei's cultivation and battle strength were not inferior to theirs at all. Old man, what did you say? The general pointed at the second Earth spirit ancestor and said angrily. How dare this guy call me trash? How despicable! You have no right to speak here. The third Earth spirit ancestor looked coldly at the general and said disdainfully. What? The general was shocked. This fellow's gaze was very terrifying. It made him feel as if he was being stared at by the god of death. In the next moment, his soul was going to scatter. He was not stupid. Otherwise, he would not have become one of the generals that patrolled the ancestral land of the Golden Rock clan. The three guys outside were unimaginably strong. However, this general only dared to challenge the first Earth spirit ancestor because of the protection formation and the countless experts in the ancestral land. Trash will always be trash. He will never become a genius. The fourth Earth spirit ancestor shook his head and said, he was different from the other second ancestors. He always looked 7 or 8 years old, but no one could tell that he had lived for countless years. The general was not convinced and wanted to argue. However, Gu Fei waved his hand and the general did not say anything. There are many experts in the Earth Spirit clan. Apart from the guy who turned himself into an incarnation, there are 3 other old antiques that are not weaker than him. This is really surprising. Gu Fei glanced at the 3 Earth Spirit clan's progenitors and said, Are you the guy called Gu Fei? If you know what's good for you, you will release our leader. Or else. The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan stared at Gu Fei and said while gritting his teeth. The spear in his hand vibrated and produced a series of vibrations. Countless Tao patterns appeared on the body of the spear. The void around the spear rippled, and ripples visible to the naked eye spread out. This was the result of the ripples of power emanating from the battle spear, shaking the surrounding void. This was the most direct manifestation of the battle spear's power. The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was filled with murderous intent. If it wasn't for the third ancestor next to him, he would have already attacked. Although the Chaos Golden Rock clan's defensive formation was strong, it hadn't displayed its full power yet. The second primogenitor of the Earth Spirit clan could still use his battle spear to break through the divine light barrier of the defensive formation and kill his way in. Of course, no one would be so stupid to enter a killing formation. It was no different from suicide. Or else what? Gu Fei crossed his arms in front of his chest and looked at the second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan with interest as he spoke with a faint smile. At this time, the news of the enemy's attack had already spread. The experts of the Golden Rock clan had rushed over. Sun Ke and Divine Monster also appeared in the distance. The 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan are here at the same time? At this moment, Yuqiong appeared out of nowhere. When he saw the 3 fellows outside the defensive formation, he immediately cried out in surprise. The 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan? Many cultivators were shocked by Yuqiong's words. There was no doubt that the Earth Spirit clan was powerful. Legend had it that this clan had 4 ancestors. It seemed that some of the legends were true. Or else I will kill you. The third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan sneered at Gu Fei. Ha! Hearing this, Gu Fei burst into laughter. You have guts. I will go out and let you kill me. After saying that, Gu Fei walked out from the grand defensive array. You dare to come out? The three ancestors were in disbelief. Is this guy so powerful that he can ignore our existence? If that's the case, we will be the ones to suffer a tragedy. You guys think too highly of yourselves. Gu Fei stood in front of the three Earth Spirit progenitors. Second brother, fourth brother, don't talk so much nonsense. Let's go together and kill this guy, the third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan said. However, the fourth ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan, who looked like a 7 or 8-year-old kid, had a serious expression. He did not dare to underestimate Gu Fei. One must know that their boss was captured by this guy in front of them. The strength of the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was undeniable. Since Gu Fei could suppress him in the mountain and river cauldron, it was almost impossible for the first ancestor to come out. What's the rush? The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan said. His eyes never left Gu Fei. As long as Gu Fei showed a flaw, he would immediately launch a fatal attack. He wanted to defeat Gu Fei in one hit. Although Gu Fei appeared to be very casual, he was secretly prepared to make a move. The three ancestors and Gu Fei were facing each other. For a moment, the space outside the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock clan was shaking. The aura of both sides was rising. Even though it was 1 against 3, Gu Fei's aura was stronger than the combined aura of the three ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan. The experts who sensed it were shocked. This Gu Fei is fighting 1 against 3 and still has the upper hand. How is this possible? Chapter 3449. Gu Fei and the three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan were facing each other. A great battle was about to break out at any moment. Two extremely powerful auras collided, and the void between them rippled like water. They had yet to make a move, but the aura emanating from their bodies had already affected the entire world. The void of the world had actually become extremely unstable. These guys, the experts watching from afar, were all shocked. The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan and Gu Fei were just too powerful. Once they started fighting, the world would definitely collapse and the land would be destroyed. It would be a disaster for the entire Ancestral God Realm's eastern continent because these people could use the power of the Extreme Tao. If the power of the Extreme Tao wasn't controlled properly, it would lead to terrifying consequences that could destroy heaven and earth. Are they really going to fight? The old antiques of the East continent were alarmed. They're all crazy, someone said. Gu Fei, Diling, and the other two ancestors unleashed their extreme Tao level power, causing everyone to feel as if their souls were trembling. Countless experts had no choice but to retreat further away. Only a few people were able to stand closer and watch. At that moment, the protective formation of the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land was completely activated. A huge divine light barrier enveloped the entire ancestral land. There were billions of formation runes intertwining on the light barrier, forming ancient and mysterious formation patterns. The essence of the earth veins deep underground was being drawn towards the protective formation. The ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan was the best treasure land in the East continent. It was regarded as the #1 sacred land by all the powerful clans of the East continent. The depths of the ancestral land was the source of the earth veins of the entire East continent. Back then, Sun Ke had spent a great deal of effort to occupy this place and build it into the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan. The protective formation of the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan could draw the power of the earth veins for its own use. Such a formation was already connected to the earth veins. If someone completely destroyed the formation, it would be equivalent to destroying the earth veins. With the protection of the formation, the ancestral land of the chaotic Golden Rock clan would not be attacked by the outside world, so Gu Fei could have no worries. You really want to fight? At this moment, the fourth progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan said with a frown. He knew that if they were to fight, it would cause a great impact to the entire eastern continent. Nonsense, not fighting? You want to be a coward? The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan glared at the fourth ancestor and said, "Second brother, we don't seem to have any chance of winning." The third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan said hesitantly. At this moment, he finally understood why his big brother, who was so powerful, was still captured by this fellow. "Humph! Whether I have a chance of winning or not, we'll only know after we fight," the second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan said coldly. He stared at Gu Fei with a solemn expression. Gu Fei's strength had far exceeded his imagination. However, it was impossible for him to give up now. With so many people watching, it was impossible for them to back down. Even if they had no chance of winning, they could only bite the bullet. The third and fourth patriarchs exchanged glances upon hearing the second patriarch's words, and then fell silent. At this moment, a figure came from afar. It was an old man in a white robe with white hair and a beard. "Why is this old man here again?" Gu Fei couldn't help but shake his head when he saw the white-robed old man. This guy really likes to join in on the fun. "East Pole?" The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan were startled when they saw the old man coming from afar. It was the East Pole old man. This old man was still alive. The East Pole old man was definitely a super antique of the Eastern continent. Even the three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan knew of his existence, and had some dealings with him. "Everyone, why don't you stop?" The East Pole old man's body was enveloped by a faint layer of divine light. He was not afraid of the extreme Tao aura from Gu Fei and the three progenitors. "Old man, you can stop if you want. Just tell these three to scram." Gu Fei rubbed his nose and smiled at the East Pole old man. In fact, he was itching to fight. It was hard to find a worthy opponent. At Gu Fei's level, it wasn't easy to find a worthy opponent. The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan had decent cultivation and battle prowess. They were good opponents. Gu Fei wanted to fight to his heart's content to test the results of his secluded cultivation. This was the first time he had fought someone after cultivating the primordial chaos energy. He was very curious as to how powerful the primordial chaos energy was. "What?" The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan were enraged when they heard Gu Fei's words. "Brother Gu Fei, why don't you give me some face and stop?" The East Pole old man came closer and said to Gu Fei, "Old man, I can't give you face even if I give you some face. I don't think these three guys who came out of nowhere are going to stop. I can't just let them bully me, right?" Gu Fei shrugged. Although he seemed indifferent, he had no flaws at all. The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan couldn't find a chance to attack him. The East Pole old man was speechless when he heard Gu Fei's words. Who in the Eastern continent could bully you? Others would be grateful if you didn't bully them. This? Fellow Taoists, how about giving me some face? The East Pole old man looked at the three progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan and said, "East Pole, if you continue to talk nonsense in front of us, we'll kill you too." The third progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan said angrily to the East Pole old man, "Sigh. It seems like I've lost face after not coming out for a long time." The East Pole old man shook his head and sighed. "Humph. East Pole, I advise you to go away," the second progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan said impatiently. They didn't need to care about the East Pole old man. In the entire Eastern continent, or even the entire ancestral god realm, the older generation of cultivators knew that the East Pole old man was a nice person who was best at mediating fights. The East Pole old man wasn't angry when he heard the words of the second progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan. He still tried to persuade Gu Fei and the three progenitors to stop. "Unless this guy releases our boss, it's impossible for us to stop," the second progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan said. They were here for their boss. They wanted to rescue him from the hands of Gu Fei. "Brother Gu Fei, what do you think? Why don't you release their boss so that the people don't suffer?" The East Pole old man looked at Gu Fei and said seriously. "No way!" Gu Fei rejected immediately. He had painstakingly captured the first progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan. How could he release him just because the East Pole old man said so? "Brother Gu Fei, this..." The East Pole Old Man wanted to continue persuading Gu Fei to stop fighting the three progenitors of the Earth's spirit clan. Die! At this moment, the second progenitor roared angrily and threw a punch at Gu Fei. Chaotic force immediately erupted from his fist. A large swath of the space in front of the second progenitor's fist collapsed and shattered, forming a terrifying destructive force that surged towards Gu Fei. Humph! You finally can't take it anymore? Gu Fei sneered. He then extended his right hand and pressed forward unhurriedly. A primordial chaos Tao pattern appeared in his palm. Bam! With a muffled sound, Gu Fei's palm collided with the second progenitor's fist. Two powerful forces erupted, forming a destructive storm that swept out in all directions. The East Pole Old Man was shocked. The second progenitor of the Earth's spirit clan actually attacked without any hesitation. The powerful storm forced the East Pole Old Man to retreat. At this moment, Gu Fei's body trembled. He did not take a single step back, but the second progenitor of the Earth's spirit clan was forced back 3 steps by Gu Fei's palm force. What? When the experts who were watching from afar saw this scene, they were incomparably shocked. This Gu Fei truly lived up to his reputation. Although it was only a single move, it was clear who was stronger. The second progenitor of the Earth's spirit clan was still inferior to Gu Fei, and he was forced back 3 steps by Gu Fei. Just as Gu Fei pushed back the second progenitor, the third and fourth progenitors also made their moves. Chaotic destruction! The third progenitor of the Earth's spirit clan roared and immediately used his trump card. A terrifying chaotic wheel appeared above Gu Fei's head, and it came down on Gu Fei. The void that was enveloped by the chaotic wheel was destroyed silently. However, facing the third ancestor's ultimate move, Gu Fei still used a single palm strike. His palm actually broke through the destruction energy from the Great Chaos Roulette and directly slammed into the roulette, causing it to be sent flying. The Great Annihilation Wheel was blasted high up into the sky by Gu Fei. Countless primal chaos Tao patterns were dissipating, and the Great Annihilation Wheel actually dissipated into the void. It was not the real chaotic wheel. It was just a divine ability that the third progenitor of the Earth's spirit clan had used. At the same time, Gu Fei's other hand grabbed the fourth progenitor's leg. Then, he swung the fourth progenitor around and smashed him to the ground. Boom! The ground exploded, and dust flew everywhere. The fourth progenitor had smashed a huge pit in the ground. Everyone was stunned at the sight of this. Gu Fei was actually so powerful that even the 3 Earth spirit ancestors couldn't gain the slightest advantage against him even after joining forces. Roar! The fourth progenitor roared and rushed out of the pit in the ground. He attacked Gu Fei, and the second and third progenitors attacked at the same time. The 3 progenitors of the Earth Spirit clan used their ultimate moves. Gu Fei's face turned extremely solemn. Good! Chapter 3450. Boom! The entire void exploded. An unimaginably terrifying power engulfed Gu Fei in an instant. The divine light of the primal chaos soared into the sky. Where Gu Fei was, it was as if a whole new world was being created. Countless streaks of primal chaos lightning appeared in the primal chaos. Every streak of primal chaos lightning tore through the primal chaos in an instant, and released the most dazzling divine light of the primal chaos. The 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan attacked at the same time. This kind of power shocked everyone. Even the East Pole Old Man could not help but be shocked. The 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan had been in seclusion for a long time. Their cultivation and combat power had increased by a lot. The East Pole Old Man had dealt with the 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan before. Naturally, he knew their cultivation and combat power. But now, the 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan displayed their combat power. Even the East Pole Old Man could not help but be surprised. Little fellow, let me, your ancestor, teach you how to write the word death. The voice of the second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan came from the primal chaos. His voice was incomparably arrogant. In the next moment, the power coming from the primal chaos increased by a few times. The power of the extreme path filled the space. The three ancestors of the Earth Spirit Clan attacked at the same time, increasing the destructive power to the limit. At this moment, even a quasi-supreme would be blasted into pieces by this attack. Their bodies and souls would be destroyed. This was the most thorough way for a cultivator to die. This was the power of the primal chaos. The divine light of the primal chaos spread in all directions. The void that was enveloped by the divine light of the primal chaos was destroyed silently. Rumble! The world shook. The mighty primal chaos finally collided with the power of the protective formation of the chaotic Golden Rock clan. The explosion was earth-shattering. The protective formation of the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral land blocked the mighty destructive power. Countless formation runes appeared on the light shield formed by the formation's power and interweaved into a mysterious formation diagram. The power condensed by the formation diagram was not to be underestimated. The three of you are just taking advantage of your seniority. You want to kill me with this? Dream on! Gu Fei's voice rang out, and a wave of extreme Tao-level power surged out from the chaos. A figure broke through the chaos and rushed out. Everyone was shocked. Gu Fei was so powerful that he could directly break through the sealing power of the three Earth Spirit Clan's progenitors, despite being besieged by them. If it was an ordinary quasi-supreme being, they would have died countless times. Where do you think you're going? Come back! At the same time, an ancient voice rang out from within the chaos. Then, chaotic aura rapidly condensed and a giant chaotic hand immediately appeared in the sky, grabbing at Gu Fei. A powerful ripple of chaotic force radiated from the hand, and the space enveloped by the hand exploded with a single grab. Haha, who said I ran away? Gu Fei laughed as he turned around and attacked. An incomparably dazzling sword light immediately rushed out of his hand and pierced through the chaos hand that was coming at him. Chilling sword chi erupted. Wherever the sword light passed, a pitch-black spatial crack was left in the sky. It took a long time for the power of the universe to repair it. Swoosh! The extremely sharp sword light flashed and pierced through the huge chaotic hand. Both the sword light and the chaotic hand dissipated in the void. Clang! At this moment, the sound of iron chains colliding was heard from within the chaos. Then, a black chain flew out from the chaos and wrapped around Gu Fei. It pulled Gu Fei towards the chaos. Hee, come on in. The voice of the Fourth Earth Spirit Clan's primogenitor came from within the chaos. The battle strength displayed by the fourth ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan was extremely powerful. He was able to pull Gu Fei into the primal chaos. Roar! Gu Fei bellowed out furiously, and a dazzling ball of chaotic light immediately erupted from his body. It blocked the destructive chaotic force in the surroundings. However, in that instant, Gu Fei felt his body tremble. He had already been struck by a palm. The powerful force of the palm directly penetrated his protective primordial force and sent him flying. Damn it! Gu Fei was enraged. He was truly enraged. Clanging sounds continuously rang out from his body. After that, streaks of extremely sharp sword light shot out from his body, slashing at the black chains wrapped around him. However, the black chain had been refined from some unknown material. It actually blocked the streaks of light from his body. Gu Fei only felt that when his sword light hacked at the black iron chain, it was actually unable to damage it in the slightest. Haha, don't waste your energy. Even an extreme supreme exalt would be captured by my black chain, let alone someone who isn't even an extreme supreme exalt. The Fourth Earth Spirit Clan's primogenitor said proudly. At the same time, a streak of divine light struck Gu Fei's body silently. It directly broke through his protective primordial force. A tear immediately appeared on Gu Fei's clothes, and a bloody mark appeared on the spot where the divine light had struck. What? Gu Fei was both shocked and furious. He had never thought that the three Earth Spirit Clan's primogenitors were actually pretending to be weak. The battle strength they had displayed was so shocking. It seemed like the older the wiser. The divine light that struck him was extraordinary. He felt a chilly sword chi invade his body, causing him to shiver involuntarily. Roar! The chaotic primordial force exploded from Gu Fei's body as he roared. The chaotic primordial force immediately forced out the sword chi that had invaded his body. At the same time, Gu Fei opened his mouth and spat out a streak of sword light. Within the streak of sword light was a divine sword. An extreme supreme aura immediately erupted from the divine sword. The divine sword instantly grew bigger, and then directly chopped down on the black chain on Gu Fei's body. Clang! The black chain wrapped around Gu Fei's body was cut off by the divine sword. The divine sword turned into a sword light that danced around Gu Fei's body, and the sound of metal clanging rang out incessantly. The black chain was instantly cut into countless pieces by the divine sword. What? The fourth Earth Spirit Clan's ancestor cried out. He could not help but be shocked. The black chain seemed ordinary, but it was actually an extreme supreme god chain. The chain could bind all living beings. Who knew how many living beings had been bound by it in the hands of the fourth Earth Spirit Clan's ancestor? The fourth Earth Spirit Clan's ancestor could often kill existences more powerful than him because he had grasped a divine chain like this. But now, his black chain had been cut into countless pieces by his opponent's divine sword. This shocked and enraged him. The black chain turned into ordinary metal and fell from Gu Fei's body. Roar! At this moment, endless chaotic force condensed in the chaos. A chaotic beast immediately appeared and swallowed Gu Fei along with his sword in a single gulp. What? All the experts who sensed what was happening in the primal chaos were extremely shocked. The three ancestors of the Earth Spirit Clan were really strong, too strong. Even Gu Fei couldn't gain the upper hand against them. One should know that Gu Fei was a fierce person. The Golden Crow clan was almost exterminated by him. Sun Kei's primal chaos Golden Rock clan was able to dominate the entire ancestral god realm's eastern continent because of Gu Fei's support. At this moment, Gu Fei was in a bad situation. If Gu Fei was defeated by the three Earth Spirit Clan's ancestors, Sun Kei would be in trouble too. This was because the Earth Spirit Clan had been eyeing the Chaos Golden Rock Clan's ancestral land for a long time. As long as they defeated Gu Fei, wouldn't the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock Clan be theirs? Rumble! The chaos beast that swallowed Gu Fei started trembling. Endless chaotic Tao runes surged and intertwined on its body. A terrifying destructive force was condensing rapidly. The three progenitors of the Earth Spirit Clan appeared at the same time. They sat cross-legged around the chaos beast and circulated their mystic arts with all their might. They wanted to refine Gu Fei, who was in the chaos beast's body. However, at this moment, a ray of sword light suddenly shot out from the center of the beast's brows. After that, a gust of sword chi surged out, and the entire beast started to dissipate from the center of its brows. In the end, it completely vanished into thin air. A figure holding a divine sword walked out from the endless divine runes of chaos. Then, he slashed out with his sword, and dazzling sword light immediately rushed out from the divine sword in his hand. It soared tens of thousands of meters in an instant, and directly slashed at the second ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan. In the next moment, the second ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan was split into two by the swordlight before he could even let out a cry. The two halves of his corpse turned into ashes as they flew out. Both his body and soul were destroyed. Chapter 3451. Gu Fei had killed the Earth Spirit Clan's second primogenitor with a single strike. The other two Earth Spirit Clan's primogenitors almost went crazy. Kill! The Earth Spirit Clan's third primogenitor roared and attacked crazily. 9 primordial Tao patterns rushed out of his body and turned into a ball of chaotic divine light that blasted towards Gu Fei. Rumble! The ball of chaotic divine light was gathering the essence of heaven and earth. It was as if 9 chaotic divine suns had appeared in the sky and released a terrifying wave of energy. The third primogenitor was really risking his life. Once an existence of this level went all out, the combat power that erupted was absolutely shocking. Even Gu Fei would be moved. At this moment, he felt like the space around him had frozen. Chaotic force surged from the 9 balls of chaotic light, sealing up a region of space. So what if I'm risking my life? Gu Fei smiled. He smiled very happily. He clenched his left fist and punched towards the 9 balls of chaotic divine light that were descending from the sky. The primordial chaos power circulated wildly in his body. The primordial chaos chi overflowed from his body and circulated rapidly. A fist the size of a small mountain appeared in the void and blasted upwards. Boundless primordial chaos divine light erupted from this fist. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded. The chaotic energy around Gu Fei and the others was dispersed by the energy fluctuations that erupted. Boom! With a loud bang, Gu Fei's primordial chaos fist collided with the Earth Spirit Clan's third primogenitor's 9 balls of chaotic divine light. Then, in an instant, the entire world seemed to have disappeared. In the next moment, the space between Gu Fei and the Earth Spirit Clan's third primogenitor was annihilated silently. The 9 balls of chaotic divine light that descended from the sky exploded. This scene was extremely shocking. It was as if the 9 chaotic divine suns had exploded. The exploded chaotic divine light shattered the sky. Countless chaotic divine patterns were annihilated in the sky. The place where the 9 balls of chaotic divine light was formed into an extremely terrifying black hole. Gu Fei's primordial chaos fist was unstoppable. After destroying the 9 balls of chaotic divine light, it didn't dissipate. It only dimmed a little. Damn it! The third Earth Spirit Ancestor's eyes were bloodshot as he punched towards the primordial chaos fist. Don't! Seeing this, the Earth Spirit Clan's fourth primogenitor cried out. Bam! With a loud thump, the Earth Spirit Clan's third Spirit Clan primogenitor clan's chaotic clan's ancestors' blood, the primogenitor. Drops of crystal clear chaos blood fell from the sky. Each drop glowed with chaos chi. This was the third Earth Spirit Ancestor's essence blood. Each drop contained extremely powerful chaos chi. This was the chaotic divine blood of the Earth Spirit Clan's first primogenitor. It was also something that alchemists dreamed of. A single drop of chaotic divine blood could create a chaotic body. Of course, there was still a fundamental difference between a chaotic body and a chaotic body. Just then, the chaotic divine blood of the third primogenitor dripped onto the ground. It seeped into the soil and was wasted. Some people were heartbroken. After all, it was the chaotic divine blood. But some people didn't care. The stronger one was, the less they cared about the chaotic divine blood. For example, Gu Fei didn't even look at the chaotic divine blood. Whoosh! Just then, Gu Fei used the 8 desolation steps and caught up to the Earth Spirit Clan's third primogenitor. He was about to attack again and kill him. However, just then, a spear stabbed towards Gu Fei from the side. A divine light shot out from the spear. It was an extreme power. Gu Fei had no choice but to be careful. With a wave of his right hand, the purple gold divine sword in his hand immediately clashed with the body of the spear, sending it flying. Humph! Gu Feijian pointed at the person who had attacked him. Terrifying Dao patterns circled around the purple gold divine sword in his hand. A sword aura that caused the heavens and earth to lose color spread out from the purple gold divine sword. It can take a hit from the purple gold divine sword? Gu Fei was surprised to see that his sword did not manage to split the spear into 2. At this time, the Earth Spirit fourth primogenitor rushed over and grabbed the spear that Gu Fei had knocked away. He looked down and saw that there was a faint mark on the spear where Gu Fei's sword had struck. You can even leave a mark on my race's supreme ancestral weapon? The Earth Spirit Clan's fourth primogenitor looked at Gu Fei in disbelief. Although he was also the Earth Spirit Clan's first primogenitor, he hadn't become a supreme ancestor yet. This spear was refined by the first primogenitor. The first primogenitor was the supreme ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan. The fourth primogenitor's gaze shifted from Gu Fei to the divine sword in his hand. A faint aura of the supreme path emanated from the sword. Although it didn't seem sharp, he knew that this was no ordinary sword. Gu Fei had used this sword to kill the Earth Spirit Clan's second primogenitor. Originally, the Earth Spirit Clan's ancestral weapon was in the second primogenitor's hands. However, when the second primogenitor had been killed by Gu Fei, the fourth primogenitor had taken it away. Roar! Just as Gu Fei and the fourth primogenitor were facing off, an angry roar was heard. Gu Fei frowned and looked in the direction of the roar. He saw the Earth Spirit third primogenitor's body slowly rising from the ground. His body was emitting a fiery chaotic divine light. An unprecedentedly strong aura radiated from the Earth Spirit third primogenitor's body. The entire sky was shaking, and it was terrifying. At this time, the third primogenitor seemed to be in a frenzy. His face was hideous, and the chaotic divine light that shot out of his eyes was dozens of feet long. His long hair danced in the wind, and every strand of his hair was emitting chaotic divine light. Why? Do you still want to fight? If you want to die, I'm more than happy to send you on your way. Gu Fei looked at the third Earth Spirit ancestor, and said calmly. In the face of absolute power, even if the weak wanted to risk their lives, the outcome would not change. I want you to die! The third primogenitor stared at Gu Fei and gritted his teeth. Third brother. The fourth primogenitor panicked. Even if the third primogenitor increased his fighting ability, he wouldn't be Gu Fei's opponent. He would only die for nothing. Chapter 3452. The battle between Gu Fei and the Earth Spirit First Ancestor had reached its climax. In order to defeat Gu Fei, the third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was willing to sacrifice his vitality to increase his strength. Roar! The third Earth Spirit ancestor roared like a wild beast. His eyes were filled with a crazed gaze. He was struggling and wanted to remain clear-headed. Third brother, you! The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor was both shocked and furious when he saw this. The third Earth Spirit ancestor was using this secret art, was the Earth Spirit clan's ultimate secret art. Although this secret technique could draw out one's potential to the greatest extent, the repercussions of using this secret technique were very severe. After using this secret technique, one's vitality would definitely be greatly damaged. In serious cases, one might even lose their precious life. The third ancestor naturally didn't want to die. However, the third primogenitor could not think of any other way to defeat Gu Fei. Although this secret skill was dangerous, it gave the third primogenitor hope. Die! I'm going to kill you! The third primogenitor muttered to himself as he glared at Gu Fei with an ominous glint in his eyes. His gaze was like that of a wild beast staring at its prey. Bring it on. I'll fight you with only one hand, Gu Fei said nonchalantly. He actually put his left hand behind his back. He was going to fight the third ancestor with his right hand. You dare look down on me? Die! The third ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan roared and stretched out his hand to grab Gu Fei. The Chaos hand instantly enveloped Gu Fei. Chaotic Universe Reversal! Gu Fei used the Chaotic Universe Reversal, one of the 9 secrets of the Immortal Path. The space around him distorted. The huge chaotic hand that descended from the sky was immediately severely injured. The powerful force that tore the void directly tore the huge chaotic hand into pieces. The moment Gu Fei attacked, the fourth primogenitor attacked at almost the same time. He didn't move a single hand, but instead, he sent a flying kick at the fourth primogenitor, forcing him back. Swoosh! Just as Gu Fei pushed the fourth ancestor back with a kick, his figure instantly melted into the surrounding void and disappeared without a trace. What? The third ancestor and the fourth ancestor were shocked. This Gu Fei has actually cultivated the great Tao of Void? The fourth ancestor exclaimed. At the same time, a palm suddenly appeared out of nowhere and slammed into the fourth ancestor's back without a sound or presence. Kacha! The sound of bones breaking came from the fourth Earth Spirit ancestor's body. The fourth ancestor was sent flying by Gu Fei's attack. Then, he fell from the sky like a meteorite. Boom! The ground shook and dust rose into the sky. The fourth ancestor who fell from the sky directly smashed a huge crater in the ground. Swoosh! The third Earth Spirit ancestor fiercely pounced towards Gu Fei. His speed was so fast that Gu Fei was unable to dodge, and he was struck by a palm. How dare you! Gu Fei naturally wouldn't go crazy with this guy. His moves were simple and practical. They weren't complicated. Every punch and kick was powerful. Die! Gu Fei was angry. The consequences were severe. Only to see Gu Fei's silhouette rapidly moving through the air, fighting against the fourth ancestor. This caused him to be extremely shocked. The fourth ancestor's combat prowess had actually risen to such a level. At this moment, the fourth primogenitor, who had been knocked down from the sky by Gu Fei, gripped his spear and charged out of the huge pit in the ground. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. Two primogenitor-level existences teamed up to fight Gu Fei. It was a soul-stirring scene. The three figures fought so hard that even the Chaos Golden Rock race's ancestral ground was affected. It almost broke through the defensive formation. If that was the case, then all the spiritual medicines in the Celestial Medicine Ridge would be taken. However, Gu Fei purposely moved the battlefield to a place far away from the Chaos Golden Rock race's ancestral land. It was a rocky mountain with very little vegetation. The few trees on the mountain looked like they were half dead. Boom! A beam of divine light swept over and the entire stony mountain disappeared into the void. It was turned into dust by that beam of divine light and dissipated in the void. From time to time, the third ancestor's eyes shot out destructive light that pierced through Gu Fei. Gu Fei was hit by a few of them, and a few wounds appeared on his body. Less than an hour later, Gu Fei became fiercer and fiercer as he fought. The primal chaos energy in his body crazily revolved. The two Earth Spirit primogenitors knew that it wouldn't be long before they were defeated by Gu Fei. However, at this time, everything was unpredictable. No one knew who would have the last laugh until the very end. Boom! Bam! Gu Fei exchanged a blow with the two experts and forced them to retreat. Then, he used the secret technique of rising to heaven, causing his battle strength to soar. A terrifying and monstrous aura spread out, causing the entire world to become extremely unstable. Pitch-black spatial cracks constantly appeared in the void. Swoosh! In the next moment, Gu Fei's figure disappeared from the void. When he reappeared, he was already in front of the third primogenitor. Bam! Without hesitation, Gu Fei slammed his palm on the third ancestor's chest. In the next moment, the third ancestor screamed and his body was torn into pieces. The ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was smashed into pieces by Gu Fei's palm. Everyone who witnessed this scene was dumbfounded. They could not believe their eyes. At this time, Gu Fei stared at the fourth ancestor. Damn it! The fourth ancestor was shocked and angry. Chapter 3453. No one knew Gu Fei's strength better than the fourth Earth Spirit ancestor. He was a terrifying existence that was almost undefeatable under the extreme Tao. The second and third Earth Spirit ancestors were killed by Gu Fei one after another. The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor was both shocked and furious. He wanted to tear Gu Fei into pieces, but he was no match for Gu Fei. He knew that if Gu Fei wanted to, Gu Fei could definitely tear him into pieces. At this moment, the fourth Earth Spirit ancestor's face was pale and his body was trembling. Beads of sweat the size of soybeans appeared on his forehead. The sweat flowed down his young face and dripped onto the ground, seeping into the soil. The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor looked like a 7 or 8-year-old child. He had white teeth and red lips. One look and anyone could tell that he was an extremely intelligent person. Otherwise, he wouldn't have become the fourth Earth Spirit ancestor. Fight or run! The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor stared at Gu Fei and tightened his grip on his spear. There's no more suspense in this battle. Far in the sky, the East Pole Old Man sighed. It seemed like the Earth Spirit tribe was finished. Who asked them to provoke Gu Fei? Gu Fei wasn't someone anyone could afford to offend. Although the East Pole Old Man loved to mediate disputes and was a good person, he wouldn't interfere if he couldn't mediate. Surrender and become my servant. You can live if you don't. Otherwise, you'll die, Gu Fei said indifferently. Although the three Earth Spirit tribe's ancestors were strong, they weren't enough for him, even if they had extreme Tao weapons. Humph! You captured my big brother and killed my second and third brother. Do you think I'll still be your servant? The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor said while gritting his teeth. His young face was flushed red. This matter could not be resolved peacefully. To be exact, he and Gu Fei had become enemies that could not live under the same sky. It was either Gu Fei or Gu Fei. Gu Fei smiled and said, "According to what you said, if I didn't kill those two guys, you'd be willing to submit to me?" The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor did not speak and only stared at Gu Fei. His entire body was filled with murderous intent. The primal cake's divine light emitted from his body was like a primal chaos divine flame. The void around him was constantly being destroyed. "What is Master doing? Is he really going to subdue this guy?" Yu Qiong was shocked when he saw this. Once Gu Fei subdued the Earth Spirit tribe, no one in the entire eastern continent would be able to go against him. Although the Heavenly God tribe had a strong foundation, Yu Qiong knew that it would be difficult to resist Gu Fei even if the Heavenly God tribe used everything they had. With Gu Fei around, it wouldn't be difficult for Tsang Ke to truly unify the eastern continent. "Master has his own plans," the monster divine Venerable said. Meanwhile, Tsang Ke was personally controlling the defensive formation in the chaotic Golden Rock tribe's ancestral land, blocking all the forces that were surging towards the ancestral land. The chaotic Golden Rock tribe's ancestral land was not affected at all. "What's Gu Fei doing? Why hasn't he killed that guy yet?" Tsang Ke stood on a tall formation platform in the depths of the ancestral lands. He raised his head to look at the two figures facing off in the sky. He was very confused. Given Gu Fei's cultivation, it would be a piece of cake for him to kill the fourth ancestor. He was slightly excited. He could subdue the entire Earth Spirit tribe if he could subdue the Earth Spirit tribe. If he could subdue the Earth Spirit tribe, the chaotic Golden Rock tribe's strength would definitely increase tremendously. They would then become the strongest faction in the eastern continent and the true overlord. Tsang Ke was well aware of the chaotic Golden Rock tribe's situation. If it wasn't for Gu Fei, they wouldn't have been able to rise so quickly in the eastern continent. The only person that the old fellas in the eastern continent were wary of was Gu Fei. If it wasn't for Gu Fei, Tsang Ke's chaotic Golden Rock tribe wouldn't have been able to gain a foothold in the eastern continent. "This guy's not bad." At this moment, an old man appeared high in the sky in another direction. He looked old and clumsy, but no one dared to go near him. Even some of the most ancient existences avoided the old man as soon as they saw him. "What? Even he's here?" The Eastern Pole old man almost exclaimed when he saw the old man who was even older than him. "The ancestral god?" A huge figure could be vaguely seen among the clouds in the sky. It was an enormous mysterious snake that was circling in the clouds. "The mysterious snake patriarch is here too." Someone said something like that. Just as the outcome of the battle was decided, a figure who was watching from afar left quietly. No one noticed the figure. Everyone was watching Gu Fei and the fourth Earth Spirit progenitor. The battle had made everyone aware of Gu Fei's strength. This man could annihilate the Golden Crow tribe. How could he be an ordinary person? A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. "I think one of the Earth Spirit progenitors is going to surrender," someone whispered. Even if he wants to surrender, he has to see if the other party is willing to accept him," someone said disapprovingly. "I don't think he will surrender," a white-haired middle-aged man said. The second and third progenitors were killed by Gu Fei. Why would the fourth progenitor surrender? "Why don't we make a bet?" A short and fat cultivator glanced at the middle-aged man and said, "I'm not afraid of you." "What do you have to offer if you lose?" the middle-aged man said. "How about this?" After saying that, the pudgy cultivator pulled out a short sword from his body. The short sword was sheathed in a black scabbard and a chilling aura radiated out from the short sword. "Oh, this is good stuff." A white-clothed young cultivator was shocked when he saw the short sword in the fat cultivator's hand. This short sword was definitely a rare divine weapon. For sword cultivators, this dagger was very valuable. The middle-aged man happened to be a sword principle expert. His eyes lit up when he saw the short sword in the fat cultivator's hand. He almost couldn't help but want to snatch the short sword. "What do you have to offer?" The fat cultivator looked at the middle-aged cultivator and said proudly, "Humph! Are you the only one with good stuff?" After saying that, the middle-aged cultivator took out an item from his body. He held the item in his hand, but rays of divine light still seeped through the gaps between his fingers. A powerful wave of divine power rippled out from his hand. "This is—" Both the fat cultivator and the white-clothed young man were shocked when they sensed the wave of divine power from the middle-aged cultivator's hand. This was the purest divine power. It could be easily refined and absorbed to improve one's cultivation and battle strength. The eyes of the fat cultivator and the white-clothed young man also lit up. The middle-aged cultivator was holding a heavenly god bead in his hand. This was a divine item that people in the divine path yearned for. Refining a heavenly god bead was enough to raise the cultivation of an ordinary god to the heavenly god level. The heavenly gods of the ancestral god realm were equivalent to the almighties of the human realm. A heavenly god bead could raise a heavenly god long ago. It was no wonder that so many people coveted it. Most importantly, there weren't many people in the ancestral god realm who could refine a heavenly god bead. The rarer something was, the greater its value. In the ancestral god realm, the value of a heavenly god bead was definitely comparable to a saint-grade divine weapon. While everyone was guessing whether the fourth progenitor of the Earth Spirit clan would surrender, the fourth progenitor had already made his move. Boom! A dazzling divine light burst out of the fourth progenitor's body. The fourth progenitor turned into a chaotic exotic beast and pounced at Gu Fei. The chaotic exotic beast was covered in thick scales. There were two sharp curved horns on its head and a pair of long claws. It directly clawed at Gu Fei's head and chest. "He's really crazy!" Gu Fei shook his head. This guy actually dared to fight in close combat with him. Isn't he courting death? Swoosh! A mass of primal chaos divine light surged out of Gu Fei's body. The fourth progenitor's sharp claws instantly clawed at the layer of light and were shaken off. In the next moment, the chaotic exotic beast's huge body violently collided with the primal chaos divine light outside of Gu Fei's body. Gu Fei was as still as a mountain, but the fourth ancestor was sent flying. Even the horn on his head was broken, and some of his bones even pierced through. He was in a wretched state. This was the difference in strength. Gu Fei could still kill the second and third progenitors even though he was fighting 1 against 3. Now, only the fourth progenitor was left. The chaotic exotic beast that the fourth progenitor had turned into roared angrily. It did not care about its injuries and pounced at Gu Fei again. Bang! With a single punch, Gu Fei sent the pouncing exotic beast flying. The Earth's spirit ancestor is just SOSO. Although his reputation is not undeserved, he is not as strong as the rumors say. Some old antiques whispered in the distance. Haha, you lost. At this moment, the middle-aged cultivator was overjoyed. He snatched the short sword from the fat man's hand. If we don't surrender now, which progenitor of the Earth Spirit tribe wants the Earth Spirit tribe to be wiped out? The fatty didn't understand. The fourth Earth Spirit ancestor shouldn't have thought of this. As long as he was alive, there would be hope. If he died, then everything would be over and everything would be over. As the progenitor of the tribe, the fourth progenitor should not have pushed his tribe to the brink of destruction. At this moment, Gu Fei was torturing the chaotic exotic beast. Before long, there was not a single part of the chaotic exotic beast that was unharmed. He did not kill it. The fourth progenitor only suffered flesh wounds. Although they looked serious, with the fourth progenitor's cultivation base, he could recover even if he was blasted into smithereens. Bang! Gu Fei sent the exotic beast of chaos flying with another punch. This time, the exotic beast of chaos fell from the sky and could not attack again for a while. Alright, that's enough. It's time to end this. Chapter 3454. Although the Earth Spirit clan's ancestor had taken on a human form, he was definitely not a human but a member of the chaotic tribe. The fourth ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan had revealed his true form to fight against Gu Fei. However, he was still no match for Gu Fei even though he had displayed his strongest combat body. Ever since Gu Fei had come out of seclusion, his cultivation and combat strength had increased once again. The strength of the chaotic primordial energy shocked even Gu Fei. Even a single strand of this energy could crush the void. It was extremely powerful. At this moment, Gu Fei descended from the sky and landed beside the chaotic exotic beast. How is this possible? How can you be this powerful? A wave of unwilling divine will spread out from the heavily injured and dying alien beast of chaos on the ground. Nothing is impossible in this world, Gu Fei said with an arrogant expression. Damn it! The chaotic exotic beast roared angrily. Streaks of chaotic light were emitted from its body, and its huge body seemed to be burning. The aura it exuded made the supreme expert's hearts palpitate. Still trying to fight? Gu Fei looked at the chaotic exotic beast that was struggling to get up from the ground. He could not help but admire the fourth ancestor. He knew that it was impossible, but he still did it. Swoosh! At this moment, a ray of cold light flashed across the void and shot towards the space between Gu Fei's eyebrows at an extremely fast speed. Just as the ray of cold light was about to hit Gu Fei, a hand suddenly grabbed it without any warning. The person who grabbed it was Gu Fei himself. He had already grabbed the ray of cold light with his right hand. When he looked down, he realized that he had grabbed a tail. The tail was like a spiritual snake that was struggling in Gu Fei's hand. There was a sharp barb at the end of the tail. Humph! Gu Fei sneered. Then, he exerted strength in his hand that was grabbing onto the exotic beast of chaos's tail. He actually swung the exotic beast of chaos into the air and smashed it onto the ground with a loud bang. The entire ground shook. The massive body of the chaos exotic beast smashed a huge crater in the ground, and countless cracks appeared around the crater. Roar! The alien beast of chaos howled and coughed out blood continuously. Even though it possessed an extremely tough body, it could not withstand Gu Fei's torment. Surrender or not? Gu Fei said. No surrender! The chaos exotic beast said hatefully. Boom! Gu Fei grabbed the tail of the exotic beast of chaos and smashed it to the ground again. Surrender or not? Gu Fei asked again. No surrender! Even though the chaos alien beast was severely injured, it still refused to surrender and bow its head. Boom! Without saying anything else, Gu Fei grabbed the chaos exotic beast's tail and swung it again. He then smashed it onto the ground and asked again. If the fourth ancestor still did not surrender, he would not hesitate to kill him. Surrender, surrender! The fourth progenitor's head exploded, and a faint, illusory figure rushed out. In the next moment, the headless body of the strange beast emitted a powerful qi and blood. The streams of qi and blood entered the illusory figure. Very soon, an extremely powerful qi and blood rippled out from the figure. Soon, all the energy on the exotic beast's body was devoured by the fourth ancestor's soul. Only the clothes and bones were left. At that moment, the fourth ancestor had reconstructed his body. The aura that erupted from his body was still extremely powerful, as if he was never injured. Of course, the fourth ancestor's vitality was more or less injured. What secret art is this? Gu Fei's eyes lit up when he saw this. The fourth progenitor's secret art seemed to be a secret art that allowed one to recover from their injuries and reform a new divine body. This secret art seemed to allow the chaotic exotic beast to be reborn. It was similar to the 9 secrets of immortal Tao, the Ascension secret art. Of course, there was still a fundamental difference between the two secret arts. This is a secret art that my race has mastered, the fourth ancestor said. I would like to borrow this secret art to study it. Is that okay? Gu Fei smiled. What? The fourth progenitor could not help but be stunned. Whoosh! While the fourth progenitor was in a daze, Gu Fei suddenly reached out and grabbed the top of the fourth progenitor's head. In the next moment, he used the spirit-seizing secret technique and read the fourth progenitor's memories. The fourth ancestor did not dare resist, but it was uncomfortable to have his memories read. It was as if all his secrets were known. Cicada shedding technique? That's interesting. Gu Fei retracted his right hand from the fourth ancestor's head. This secret art was indeed unique. It shed the old body and was reborn. This secret technique was not created by the Earth Spirit clan. Instead, it was obtained from the Golden Silkworm clan. However, the Golden Cicada clan had disappeared for countless years. In the distant past, the Golden Cicada clan was once an extremely powerful clan. However, the clan eventually disappeared in the merciless passage of time. The extermination of the Golden Cicada clan once again proved that no one could truly exist for eternity. Even an extreme grade supremacy would fall at some point. To cultivators, eternity was relative. At this moment, the fourth ancestor's expression turned ugly. Gu Fei was too powerful. He had read the fourth ancestor's memories directly. He has such a secret art. The old ancestor of the mysterious snake clan and the old man from the deity race who were watching from afar were shocked. Gu Fei's technique was too heaven-defying. He could even read the fourth ancestor's memories. Everyone was surprised that Gu Fei did not kill the second and third ancestor. Chapter 3455. Gu Fei's subjugation of the Earth Spirit clan was a major event for the entire East continent, and even the entire ancestral god realm. The Cave's Golden Rock clan was now the absolute overlord of the East continent. The super antiques of the Deity clan and the Black Snake clan had all retreated. They couldn't attack Gu Fei because they weren't confident that they could defeat Gu Fei. No one dared to act rashly before they were absolutely certain that they could defeat Gu Fei. The Earth Spirit clan's three primogenitors were the best example. The Deity clan's old ancestor returned to the Deity clan's ancestral land. The Deity clan's ancestral land wasn't an ordinary place. It was the second divine land of the East continent. The source of the Earth ancestor was beneath the Chaos Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. The Deity clan's ancestral land was the second Earth ancestor. To be precise, it was a branch of the East continent's ancestral vein. Everyone knew that the Deity clan possessed a second-grade ancestral vein. Many powers coveted the Deity clan's ancestral land, but they were apprehensive about which old ancestor of the Deity clan and didn't dare act blindly without thinking. The Deity clan's old ancestor walked straight into the ancestral hall in the depths of the ancestral land. Very quickly, figures rushed in from all directions and entered the ancestral hall. The originally empty hall immediately became lively, but everyone in the hall was well-behaved and respectful. Even when communicating, they only used their divine sense to communicate. No one in the hall spoke. "Old ancestor, you summoned us here for..." The Deity clan's patriarch stood below the throne with his hands at his sides and asked respectfully. "I only have one thing to say. I won't offend those who don't offend me. Disperse." The old man on the throne let out a sigh. Everyone in the hall was stunned when they heard the old man's words. Even the Deity clan's patriarch was surprised. Did the old ancestor summon them here just to say such a thing? Although the celestial race powerhouses in the main hall were bewildered, they still obediently retreated from the ancestral hall. No one dared to ask why this was happening. Perhaps only the Deity clan's patriarch had guessed something in the entire Deity clan. Could it be that even someone as strong as our ancestor is unwilling to provoke that Gu Fei? Even though the Deity race lord had this thought, he did not dare to voice it out. Meanwhile, in the Dusk Snake tribe's ancestral land, the Dusk Snake forefather had gathered the tribe's senior executives and ordered them to restrain the other tribesmen. At this time, other forces in Dong'o State were scrambling to join Sang Quebec. Sang Kei's forces were getting stronger and stronger. What he needed to do was to build an army that could conquer Zhongzhou State for him. Sang Kei was definitely not satisfied with being the overlord of the East continent. He was very clear that with Gu Fei's support, it was not impossible for him to unify the entire ancestral god realm. After fighting with the ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan, Gu Fei returned to the ancestral land of the Golden Rock clan. The three ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan naturally followed Gu Fei to the Chaos Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. They had to follow Gu Fei. The second and third ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan needed to reconstruct their physical bodies. One had to know that their physical bodies had long been destroyed by Gu Fei. Even the fourth ancestor needed time to recover his energy. Fortunately, Gu Fei was in the Chaos Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. The three ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan were in seclusion in the Chaos Golden Rock clan's ancestral land. While the three ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan were in seclusion, Gu Fei entered the world inside the mountain and river cauldron and arrived at the place where the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was being suppressed. Roar! Clang! An angry roar reverberated in this part of the world. Coupled with the sound of metal chains colliding from time to time, Gu Fei, who had just entered, frowned. Gu Fei, you bastard! The sound of metal chains colliding with the roar suddenly disappeared. However, the next moment, an angry roar was heard, followed by the sound of metal chains colliding. Humph! Look at how lively you are! It seems like you're having a good time here. Gu Fei took a step forward and instantly appeared in front of the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan, who was being suppressed by the power of the mountain and river cauldron. Roar! Let me go. If you have the guts, fight me fair and square. In the void in front of Gu Fei, 9 primal chaos divine chains were tightly binding a person. It was a strong and powerful person. To be more precise, this was an alien in the chaotic chaos that had taken human form. The ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan were born from the chaos, and were known as the Chaotic Chaos Alien Clan. Ha! Gu Fei laughed. This guy was too naive. He had suppressed this guy here in a fair and square battle. What are you laughing at? The first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan roared. He was not happy being suppressed here. He hated Gu Fei to the core and wanted nothing more than to swallow Gu Fei. I'm laughing at you. What else can I laugh at? Gu Fei walked in front of the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan and crossed his arms in front of his chest. He looked at the first ancestor with a faint smile. What do you mean by that? The first Earth Spirit primogenitor glared at Gu Fei angrily. If looks could kill, Gu Fei would have died countless times already. Your 3 brothers have all surrendered. The entire Earth Spirit clan has surrendered. You're the only one who hasn't surrendered. If I don't laugh at you, who would laugh at you? Gu Fei said carelessly, as if he was talking about something unimportant. What? When the first ancestor heard Gu Fei's words, his expression changed drastically. He struggled to throw himself at Gu Fei. The chaotic primordial divine chains on his body made crisp noises. The 9 chaotic primordial divine chains lit up. Chaotic primordial divine light flowed around the chains. On each chain, there were divine inscriptions that appeared and intertwined. I'm going to kill you. The first ancestor was enraged. His eyes were red. This guy actually dared to attack the Earth Spirit clan? He actually has such courage. It seems like I've underestimated him. Although he was angry, he didn't lose his mind. Can you kill me? Gu Fei said disapprovingly. The 9 chaotic primordial divine chains wrapped around the first ancestor's body exploded with chaotic primordial divine force, suppressing the first ancestor. Roar! The land spirit's first ancestor's body suddenly shook, and he revealed his true form. Endless primordial light exploded from his body, and a giant beast bathed in the light appeared in the sky. The 9 chaotic primordial divine chains clanked, still restraining the beast. This is... When Gu Fei saw the beast's appearance, he couldn't help but be shocked. This beast was different from the 4th ancestor's original form. The chaos exotic beast had a pair of bat-like wings, but it had the head of an ancestral dragon. Its body was thick and long, and its front claws were over a dozen zhang long. Its tail was several times longer than its body. At the end of this beast's tail, there was a black barb. The barb was extremely sharp and glowed with a dark blue light. Whoosh! The strange beast's tail, which was several hundred meters long, suddenly moved, and a cold light immediately pierced through Gu Fei's forehead. The speed of the light was so fast that Gu Fei couldn't help but be moved. Gu Fei only had time to raise his hand to block the attack. The sharp barb at the end of the beast's tail stabbed into Gu Fei's right palm. Gu Fei only felt pain in his palm before the beast's tail retracted. He looked down and saw a black spot of blood on the palm of his right hand. It was a mark left behind by the barb on his opponent's tail. Haha, you're dead. Just then, the beast transformed back into its human form. The first ancestor appeared in front of Gu Fei. He laughed heartily, very pleased with himself. This was all part of his plan. He had pretended to be crazy just to make Gu Fei lower his guard. Although the 9 primordial chaos divine chains had bound the first earth spirit ancestor in the void, he was still able to use his long tail freely. In just a few breaths' time, Gu Fei's entire right palm had turned black, as if it had been smeared with ink. I wanted to give you a fatal blow, but I didn't expect you to block it. But this is good too, your ending won't change anything. The first ancestor stared at Gu Fei and said with a gloomy face, "Hey! You think you can kill me like this? It's just a small poison, I really don't care." Gu Fei shook his head and said, This is not an ordinary poison. Back then, even a supreme god ancestor would be in danger if I stabbed him, let alone you." The first earth spirit ancestor was very confident in the venom of the barbs on his tail. Gu Fei smiled and did not say anything. This time, he had been too careless. His martial body was extremely strong, even a quasi-supreme divine weapon would not be able to hurt him. The barb on the first ancestor's tail was even more powerful than a quasi-supreme divine weapon. I can think of at least 2 ways to neutralize your poison, Gu Fei said with disdain. What? When the first ancestor heard Gu Fei's words, he was shocked. He knew that when one's cultivation reached Gu Fei's realm, he would not lie. At that moment, the first earth spirit primogenitor stared dumbfoundedly at Gu Fei's poisoned right hand. That pitch-black right hand was actually emitting traces of black gas. After the black chi seeped out of Gu Fei's right hand, it directly dissipated into the void. The void was immediately filled with a fishy smell. Smelling the stench, Gu Fei actually felt a little dizzy. He was inexplicably shocked. It seemed that this poison was really powerful. Don't waste your energy. You want to get rid of my poison? Dream on. The Earth Spirit Clan's progenitor laughed heartily. If you don't want to die, how about we make a deal? Gu Fei shook his head and said helplessly, You dare? The first ancestor of the Earth Spirit Clan glared at Gu Fei furiously. Why wouldn't I dare? Gu Fei said with a smile. In this world, there were really not many things that he did not dare to do. If he doesn't surrender, I will. Is that all right? At this moment, a voice suddenly rang in Gu Fei's mind. In the next moment, Gu Fei knew that it was the voice of another living being that was suppressed here. Swoosh! In the next moment, Gu Fei's figure disappeared into the void. When he reappeared, he was already in front of another living being that was suppressed here. This was an extremely huge living being. This living being was surrounded by streams of demonic aura. Similarly, there were 9 chaotic primordial god chains binding this fellow. You want to surrender? Gu Fei looked at the big fellow in front of him and said. This big fellow was the giant spirit demon. This big fellow was sealed in the mountain and river cauldron by Gu Fei. Yes, of course I want to. I want to die. The big fellow hurriedly said. He did not want to be trapped in this place for the rest of his life. As long as he could leave this place, he was willing to do anything. All right, then you will follow me from now on. As Gu Fei spoke, he pointed his finger. A ray of divine light instantly rushed out from the tip of his finger and entered the giant spirit demon's forehead. Then, the 9 chaotic primordial god chains that bound the giant spirit demon immediately loosened and the giant spirit demon's huge figure fell out. The giant spirit demon's body began to shrink rapidly. In the end, he turned into a human with the height of a real person. At this moment, the giant spirit god's face was terrifyingly gloomy. This fellow actually cast a forbidden technique on me. As long as I dare to betray Gu Fei, the other party will not hesitate to attack me. The giant spirit god knew very well that his life was in the other party's hands. His life or death was in the other party's hands. Greetings, Master. The giant spirit demon turned into a human and came before Gu Fei and bowed. Get up, Gu Fei said calmly. The giant spirit demon was not a weakling. His cultivation was much stronger than Yiqiong, the old ancestor of the deity race. After subduing the giant spirit demon, Gu Fei directly left the world inside the mountain and river cauldron and went to the outside world. At this time, the East Continent was relatively peaceful. Although there were surging waves in the dark, no one was willing to provoke anyone on the surface. However, at this time, the Central Continent was the first to ignite the flames of war. The Central Continent's Pang family and the Heavenly Fire clan were finally at war. When the war broke out, the entire Central Continent was shaken. Even countless experts from the other 4 continents were alarmed. Soon, Gu Fei received the news. What's going to happen will eventually happen. Gu Fei let out a sigh. Even though he knew that the ancestral god realm would descend into chaos sooner or later, he never imagined that this chaos would be triggered by a battle between 2 superforces. At this time, although San Ke also wanted to take action, he held back in the end. After all, it was not the right time to take action. He didn't want to become the target of public criticism. However, this wasn't a problem that Sun Ke could solve by not taking action. An army of the Heavenly Fire clan was actually heading towards the East Continent, intending to destroy all the superpowers in the East Continent and unify the East Continent. The army of the Heavenly Fire clan was led by an old ancestor of the clan. This old ancestor was powerful and domineering, and he was an outstanding figure in the Heavenly Fire clan. The arrival of the Heavenly Fire clan's army shook the entire East Continent. The place where the Heavenly Fire clan's army landed happened to be in the territory of the Black Snake clan. The old ancestor of the Black Snake clan was also very domineering. Therefore, the 2 great experts fought first. This battle was earth-shattering and the sun and moon lost their luster. In the end, no one knew who won and who lost in this battle. What everyone knew was that the Heavenly Fire clan's army didn't leave the Black Snake clan's territory. Many people guessed that the old ancestor of the Black Snake clan had most likely lost. Otherwise, the old ancestor of the Black Snake clan would have chased away the old ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan. Gu Fei is in the ancestral land of the Golden Rock clan. At this time, an old man was sitting in a large tent in the Heavenly Fire clan's army, listening to a subordinate's report. The old man's brows furrowed more and more tightly as the subordinate continued to report. "You're dismissed," the old ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan said to the subordinate with a wave of his hand. "Yes." The subordinate hurriedly responded and then retreated from the tent. They were in a valley, an inconspicuous valley. In the middle of the valley, tents were set up one after another, and teams of soldiers were patrolling with spears in their hands. The Heavenly Fire clan's army didn't have many soldiers, only about 10,000. However, they were the most elite soldiers of the Heavenly Fire clan, and they had once conquered a large territory for the Heavenly Fire clan. It seems that this won't be an easy matter. In the large tent, the old man's brows were still furrowed. There was only one person he was worried about, and that was Gu Fei. Gu Fei was a peerless savage. That day, Gu Fei had killed his way into the fire domain, and all the experts of the Heavenly Fire clan had withdrawn from the fight. The Heavenly Fire clan is here? What about the Pang clan? In the ancestral palace of the Golden Rock clan, Gu Fei sat high on the throne, looking at the fellows standing in the main hall. A sense of accomplishment suddenly surged in his heart. Ever since he set foot on the path of cultivation, he had never imagined that he would reach this step. Back then, he had only wanted to break through his cultivation realm and live a little longer than others. Who would have thought that after so many years, Gu Fei would achieve such great achievements? Whether it was in the human realm, the heaven realm, the chaos demon realm, the desolate world, or even the current ancestral god realm, he had established his own forces. This was definitely not a weak force. Once these forces were gathered together, they would definitely be able to sweep away a great world and become the master of that great world. In fact, Gu Fei was also making his final preparations to continue living. The great chaos was about to come, and when that time came, even supreme experts of the extreme grade would fall, the dark era would begin. Only those with strong forces could survive and live well. Gu Fei felt that he had not done well enough. It was definitely not an easy task to survive in the rubble. He might even die here. Master, let us make a trip! At this time, the 3 stone demons standing in the main hall suddenly came out and asked Gu Fei for permission. The others originally wanted to step forward, but when they saw the 3 great demons, they retracted their feet. These 3 great demons were famous killing demons. In the previous battle, the 3 demons had killed many experts of the Earth Spirit clan. Everyone knows that the East Continent is the territory of the Golden Rock clan. The Heavenly Fire clan dared to send an army here. They are really not giving us face. Yu Qiong also stood out and asked Gu Fei for permission. He wanted to go and meet the experts of the Fire clan. Who else wants to go and meet the guys of the Fire clan? Chapter 3457. Since the Sky Fire clan had extended their influence to the East Continent, Gu Fei naturally had to react. Many experts were gathered in the ancestral palace of the Chaos Golden Rock clan. Only a few were qualified to enter the ancestral palace of the Chaos Golden Rock clan. Apart from Song Ke, Divine Yao, Yu Qiong, and the 3 gargoyle devils, there were the 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan who had just submitted to Gu Fei. Gu Fei hadn't subdued the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan yet, but he wasn't in a hurry. He wanted to take his time and see how long the first ancestor could last. However, the barbed poison on the tail of the first ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan was really overbearing. Even Gu Fei, who had cultivated the 9 secrets of Immortal Path, had to spend a lot of time to completely expel the poison from his right hand. It would be a pity if he couldn't use such a powerful guy. The stronger the guy he subdued, the more sense of accomplishment Gu Fei felt. Of course, there were also existences that Gu Fei couldn't subdue. Who else wants to meet those guys from the Sky Fire clan? Gu Fei sat on the throne and swept his eyes across the crowd. His expression was still calm, and no one could read anything from his expression. Many people in the hall chose to remain silent, but there were still some who wanted to see the elegance of the experts from the Sky Fire clan. Go, let those guys know that we're not pushovers. Gu Fei waved his hand. Since the Sky Fire clan had sent their troops, they wouldn't retreat easily. No one knew what the clan lord of the Sky Fire clan was thinking. Shouldn't the Sky Fire clan gather their strength to fight against the Pang clan at this time? This time, apart from the 3 gargoyle devils, Yu Qiong, and Divine Yao were fighting the Sky Fire clan. The 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan had no intention of joining in. The ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan had many concerns and considerations. On the other hand, Gu Fei didn't have so many concerns. If he wanted to fight, he would fight. It was the same even if he was facing an opponent stronger than him. If he couldn't win, he would run. After the bold gargoyle, Yu Qiong, and the monster god left the chaotic Golden Rock clan's ancestral palace, they directly soared into the sky and rushed out of the ancestral land. The figures of the 3 gargoyles, Yu Qiong, and the demon god quickly disappeared into the horizon. Look at this time, the Skyfire clan did not move. No one knew who this 10,000-strong army was going to attack. The major forces of the East Continent were all tensed up. The Heavenly Fire clan was different from the Chaos Golden Rock clan. The Heavenly Fire clan was the overlord of the Central Continent, and had existed for countless years. No one knew how deep the foundation of this clan was. Boom! As dawn broke, a loud sound came from the sky above the valley. In an instant, all the cultivators in the valley were alarmed. Countless cultivators rushed out from their residences. Humph! At the same time, a sneer was heard from the valley. Then, a huge palm directly slapped upwards from the valley. Wherever the huge palm that was condensed from powerful fire elemental power passed, the void was silently annihilated under the burning of the divine fire. At the same time, a few figures appeared in the void. The 3 leading experts all exuded a powerful demonic aura. They had no choice but to show themselves. After all, the other party's palm was to force them out. Roar! The chaos demonic ape roared and punched downwards crazily. Endless chaos demonic power gathered on his fist and exploded instantly. 2 powerful forces collided in the sky above the valley. This was the first battle between Gu Fei's side and the Skyfire clan in the East Continent. The huge palm that was condensed from fire elemental power dissipated in the void. Then, a figure appeared in the sky above the valley. It was an old man. "Who are you? Why did you sneak attack us?" An old voice rang out. The old man's eyes were sharp to the extreme. However, his eyes couldn't kill. "Are you the patriarch of the Skyfire clan?" The chaos demonic apes stared at the old man opposite him. A chilling murderous aura emanated from his body and the surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. "Look!" At this moment, the void that was shattered by the two forces was quickly recovering. "Gu Fei's subordinates?" The old man's eyes narrowed when he heard the chaos demonic ape's words. The person he was most unwilling to face in this expedition to the East Continent was Gu Fei. Although Gu Fei did not show himself this time, his subordinates were not easy to deal with. "Kill!" The chaos demonic ape did not waste any time. He dashed over and punched the old man. Rumble! As the chaos demonic ape's fist moved in the void, there were sounds of wind and thunder. A ball of chaos demonic fire emerged on his fist. At this moment, the great Yin demon spider and the dragon demon were watching from afar. They knew how powerful the chaos demonic ape was, but they did not know how powerful the patriarch of the Skyfire clan was. The chaos demon ape's fist instantly arrived in front of the old man. Just as it was about to hit the old man's face, the old man's right hand moved and grabbed the chaos demon ape's fist. "What?" The chaos demonic ape was shocked. In the next moment, he was sent flying and felt his body shake. The old man had kicked him in the chest and abdomen. Bam! The chaos demonic ape was sent flying with a muffled sound. However, the chaos demonic ape was the strongest among the three gargoyle devils. He was sent flying thousands of feet away by the old man's kick before he stabilized himself. He lowered his head and saw that cracks had appeared where the old man had hit him. However, these cracks disappeared very quickly. The gargoyle devil's body was extremely strong and was comparable to an extreme demonic weapon. Although the patriarch of the Skyfire clan was strong, he was not strong enough to hurt the chaos demonic ape's body. The moment the patriarch of the Skyfire clan saw the gargoyle devil's body recover, his eyes narrowed again. Swoosh! The chaos demonic ape left an afterimage on the spot and instantly pounced in front of the patriarch of the Skyfire clan. He reached out his right hand and grabbed the patriarch's head. However, the patriarch of the Skyfire clan disappeared instantly. "What's going on?" The chaos demonic ape was shocked. In the next moment, he looked up and saw a huge foot coming towards him. Bam! The chaos demonic ape blocked with both hands. The strength of the old man's foot was so strong that he could not help but be kicked down from the sky. Boom! The chaos demonic ape was like a meteorite, falling from the sky and smashing into the ground. Roar! The chaos demonic ape roared and the ground exploded in an instant. Dust rose high into the sky and the ground undulated violently like waves. A figure rushed out from the depths of the earth. A ball of demon fire emerged from the figure and turned into a demon sun, directly colliding with the figure in the sky. Boom! The two silhouettes collided with each other, causing a loud explosion. Both silhouettes were sent flying back at the same time. This time, the chaos demonic ape and the patriarch of the Skyfire clan were evenly matched. The two figures moved quickly in the void and engaged in a fierce battle. At this time, the other experts in the valley also took action. Powerful figures surrounded the demon god and the others. Countless soldiers were gathering, and soon, a battle formation appeared in the valley. Kill! The great war of 10,000 soldiers began to operate. In the next moment, the power of 10,000 soldiers fused together and unleashed an ultimate attack. A huge phantom of a divine spear rushed out from the military formation and pierced through the demon god and the others. The figures flashed and the demon god and the others quickly retreated. Roar! 10,000 soldiers roared at the same time and soared into the sky, attacking the demon god and the others in the sky. The whole heaven and earth shook as an extremely powerful energy fluctuation spread out from the battle formation. pitch-black spatial cracks immediately appeared in the void. That was the power of a battle formation. It was terrifying and could gather the power of 10,000 people. Such a force could definitely deal with everyone present. Humph! The demon god sneered and directly unleashed the demon god's hammer. The power that erupted from the demon god's hammer was extremely tyrannical. The demon god held the demon god's hammer and bombarded the incoming battle formation with all his might. Rumble! The two forces collided and the burst of energy fluctuations spread out in all directions, forming a terrifying energy storm. Wherever it passed, the void was shattered and annihilated. The demon god only felt a huge force coming from the demon god's hammer, and he flew out involuntarily. So powerful! The demon god couldn't help but be moved. He had used the demon god's hammer, but he was still repelled by the battle formation's power. How was this possible? The power of 10,000 soldiers was so powerful. This was something that no one had expected. The battle strength of the killing formation formed by 10,000 soldiers of the Heavenly Fire clan was beyond everyone's expectation. It seemed that the Heavenly Fire clan had an ulterior motive in sending these soldiers into the East Continent. At this time, many figures appeared in the nearby area. When the Heavenly Fire clan arrived, the major forces in the East Continent immediately sent out their spies. Haha, very good. It's best if both sides suffer. An expert watching the battle from afar whispered. This expert was from the Heavenly God clan, and the Heavenly God clan had some grudges with Gu Fei. Boom! Bam! Two figures collided violently. The Chaos Demonic Ape and the Heavenly Fire clan's old ancestor were engaged in a fierce battle. The terrifying aura spread across the sky and the earth, shocking everyone. Latest book update Address Yunlai Pavilion. Chapter 3458. The old ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan was extremely powerful as he fought against the Chaos Demonic Ape. The two experts fought their way into the depths of the starry sky. Wherever they passed, the stars would explode. The dim starry sky suddenly seemed to be lit up by dazzling fireworks, illuminating the surrounding starry sky. Everyone who saw this scene was inexplicably shocked. The Chaos Demonic Ape was definitely a demon among demons. He was extremely powerful and possessed a powerful demonic body. Every move he made was extremely powerful. He was like a fire demon that walked out from the depths of chaos. His body was covered in demonic flames that burned the surrounding void. However, the old ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan was also the most powerful old ancestor of the Celestial clan. The battle between these two experts was naturally extremely intense. It was difficult to determine the winner. Just as the Chaos Demonic Ape and the old ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan fought their way into the depths of the starry sky, the other experts of the Heavenly Fire clan led the battle soldiers of the Heavenly Fire clan to attack. Rumble! More than 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle soldiers formed a killing formation and rushed out from the valley at the same time. The power of 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle soldiers was earth-shattering. Even Yu Qiong and the others couldn't help but change their expressions. Swoosh! At this moment, spider silk suddenly fell from the sky and pierced towards the battle soldiers. The great demon spider was attacking. However, the spider silks couldn't even get close to the Heavenly Fire battle soldiers. They were blocked when they were more than 10 zhang away from the battle soldiers. What? The great demon spider was shocked. He didn't expect the Heavenly Fire battle soldiers to be able to block his attack. He quickly retreated. Just as the great demon spider retreated, the killing formation formed by the Heavenly Fire battle soldiers erupted. A large area of the void was destroyed. The great demon spider couldn't help but sweat. If he hadn't retreated in advance, he would have been devoured by the shattered void. Roar! At that moment, the dragon head demon roared and blasted a palm towards the Heavenly Fire battle troops that were charging at it. The huge palm instantly covered half the sky. However, the battle formation formed by the 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle troops was too powerful. The huge palm that the dragon head demon had unleashed was instantly shattered, and even the dragon-head demon himself was sent flying. Preposterous! The dragon-head demon was sent flying thousands of feet away, and a trace of blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. Everyone was dumbfounded and in disbelief. There was no doubt that the 3 golem demons were powerful, but they were shattered by the killing formation formed by the 10,000 heavenly flame battle troops. This was enough to show how powerful the Skyfire clan's battle formation was. It was no wonder that the ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan dared to send a warrior into the East Continent. It turned out that he had nothing to fear. This shocked all the major forces in the East Continent. There was a reason why the Heavenly Fire clan was able to dominate the Central Continent. Just this troop alone had already surpassed the troops of the major forces in the East Continent. At that moment, the entire world seemed as if it was about to explode. 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle soldiers pushed forward, causing everyone to retreat wherever they passed. Humph! At that moment, the chaotic chi surged, and the 3 ancestors of the Earth Spirit clan walked out at the same time. Boundless chaotic chi surged. The second ancestor of the Earth Spirit clan waved his right hand, and a portal immediately appeared in the void. A troop of chaotic battle troops rushed out from the portal. Boom! The 2 troops collided in an instant. Battle cries shook the sky, and the sky was filled with figures. The chaotic battle troops also formed a battle formation and fought against the Heavenly Fire battle troops. Soon, the killing formation formed by the chaotic battle troops became unstable. Whoosh! The divine light that was like a heavenly sword broke through the blockade of the chaotic battle troops, and directly slashed into the killing formation of the chaotic battle troops. Dozens of chaotic battle troops were instantly killed. In the face of absolute power, any living creature was as weak as an ant. Seeing that the killing formation formed by his chaos soldiers was becoming unstable due to the impact of the opponent's killing formation, the second Earth Spirit ancestor quickly waved his hand and took away his chaos soldiers. The chaotic battle troops were his trump card, and he had spent a lot of effort on it. Naturally, he would not let the Heavenly Fire clan kill them. The dozens of chaotic battle troops were killed in an instant, and the second ancestor was already extremely heartbroken. Third brother, fourth brother, formed the heaven-slaughtering chaos formation, roared the second ancestor. He did not believe that the Heavenly Fire battle troops were really that powerful. Could they sweep across the entire eastern continent? Yes, the third and fourth ancestor replied at the same time. Then, 3 formation diagrams immediately rushed out from their bodies. There were 3 chaotic formation diagrams, and every single one of them emitted terrifying chaotic energy. The 3 formation diagrams imprinted themselves in the void, and countless chaotic runes rushed out from them. They intertwined and formed countless mysterious formation diagrams, sealing the killing formation formed by the Heavenly Fire battle troops. The layers of formation diagrams seemed to have formed an endless killing formation, completely sealing the 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle troops. It was as terrifying as the creation of a chaotic world. Roar! The 10,000 Heavenly Fire battle troops roared together, and stabbed out with their spears at the same time. Countless runes vaguely appeared in the void around each battle soldier. The 10,000 battle troops struck out at the same time. Their battle intent surged, and with the help of the battle formation, they gathered the battle force of each battle soldier, forming an extremely powerful force. Boom! This superpower directly collided with the primal chaos slaughtering heaven formation laid by the 3 Earth Spirit ancestors. The entire primal chaos slaughtering heaven formation immediately shook. Chaotic formation diagrams shone with endless chaotic light, condensing chaotic force to block the superforce that erupted from the Heavenly Fire battle troops. What? The 3 leaders of the Heavenly Fire battle troops could not help but be shocked when they saw this. It was the first time they had been trapped by a formation. Of course, these soldiers were new recruits, not veterans who had been through hundreds of battles. The biggest weakness of these soldiers was their lack of battle experience. The Heaven Fire clan's progenitor had sent such a troop of war troopers here because he wanted them to be baptized by the flames of war. Only then could they become true war troopers. Boom! Another loud sound was heard as the superforce gathered by the battle troops killing formation erupted once again. However, the result was still the same. The heaven-slaughtering chaos formation shook violently. Countless formation diagrams collapsed, but they instantly reformed. Layers of formations were constantly being destroyed and reformed. Countless runes were intertwined. The entire heaven-slaughtering chaos formation was like a ball of chaos, trapping the 10,000 heavenly fire battle troops in it. Humph! What heavenly fire battle troops? Aren't they still as weak as before? The third ancestor said disdainfully. They actually did not want to take action, but the chaos demonic ape and the others could not deal with these guys. Moreover, they were on the same side. If Yiqiong, Yao Divine, and the others were defeated by these guys, they would also lose face. This is the Earth Spirit Clan's heaven-slaughtering chaos formation. The experts who were watching the battle from afar were all staring at the heaven-slaughtering chaos formation in front of them. This formation was the Earth Spirit Clan's clan guarding formation. They would not use it easily. The experts of the Deity Clan and the Black Snake Clan appeared in the distance. No one dared to take the battle troops of the Heavenly Fire Clan lightly when they suddenly attacked the East Continent. The super forces of the Central Continent were definitely stronger than the forces of the East Continent. Just as the three ancestors of the Earth Spirit Clan trapped the 10,000 battle troops with the heaven-slaughtering chaos formation, a mysterious figure appeared outside the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock Clan. Just as that person appeared, a figure sitting cross-legged on a boulder in the depths of the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock Clan suddenly opened his eyes. In the next moment, Gu Fei's figure disappeared from the boulder. Almost at the same time, Gu Fei appeared outside the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock Clan. He's gone? Gu Fei was a little surprised. Why did this guy leave? Wasn't it that person? There weren't many things in this world that could move Gu Fei. He immediately came out of the ancestral land of the Chaos Golden Rock Clan because he sensed the aura of an old friend. However, when he came out, the person outside had already left. This is... Just as Gu Fei was about to turn around and enter the ancestral land, he suddenly found a jade slip on the grass. He waved his hand, and the jade slip immediately flew up from the ground and landed in his hand. He directly read the information on the jade slip with his divine will. Soon, a look of surprise and joy appeared on his face. I didn't expect him to come here. No wonder I couldn't find him anywhere. Gu Fei suddenly sighed. This was the ancestral god realm, where he could become the most powerful expert of the divine path. This was the heaven of the gods. The myriad god ancestral sword. Does he want this supreme treasure? Gu Fei retracted his divine will from the jade slip. The reason why that person had come here was because he wanted to obtain the most powerful ancestral sword in the ancestral god realm. This was not a simple matter. The myriad god ancestral sword was not something that just anyone could obtain, because the place where the myriad god ancestral sword was located was too special. The graveyard of the myriad gods was definitely a place more terrifying than the Black Demon Sea or the Sky region battlefield. Countless gods were buried there, and myriad god was just a general term. It was a graveyard that had existed since ancient times. It was the graveyard of the gods and was called the Divine Tomb by countless living beings in the ancestral god realm. It was a place that people in the ancestral god realm did not dare to set foot in. Chapter 3459. The Heavenly Fire Clan's power had always been in the Central Continent, one of the 5 great continents of the ancestral god realm. Compared to the East Continent, the Heavenly Fire Clan's influence was very small. Before Gu Fei came to the East Continent, the major forces of the East Continent would still be wary of a colossus like the Heavenly Fire Clan. But it was different now. The Heavenly Fire Clan and the Pang Clan were fighting for the position of overlord in the Central Continent. At this time, the forces of the other 4 great continents were watching. The leaders of these forces were not fools. They knew the consequences of standing on the wrong side, so they chose to watch. In the Central Continent, because of Gu Fei, the Chaos Golden Rock Clan and the Earth Spirit Clan naturally would not stand on the side of the Heavenly Fire Clan. Although the Deity Clan and the Black Snake Clan were unwilling to be suppressed by Gu Fei, they did not dare to act rashly for the time being. Gu Fei's strength were obvious to all. Even a powerful clan like the Golden Crow Clan was defeated by Gu Fei. Countless clansmen had to flee for their lives. This was a lesson to be learned from the mistakes of others. However, Gu Fei was different. He had some grudges with the Heavenly Fire Clan. He had once killed his way into the depths of the Fire Domain, the ancestral land of the Heavenly Fire Clan. In fact, the Heavenly Fire Clan had sent this group of soldiers to monitor Gu Fei. The relationship between Gu Fei and the Pang Clan made the Heavenly Fire Clan very uneasy. Gu Fei did not want to get involved in the struggle of the ancestral god realm, but things would not happen as he expected. Because Tsing Ke also wanted to become the overlord of the ancestral god realm. If Tsing Ke could become the overlord of the ancestral god realm, it would be a good thing for Gu Fei. In troubled times, the one with the strongest forces would be able to take the initiative and live longer. This was inevitable. Gu Fei had always been developing his own forces. At this time, in the sky above the camp of the Heavenly Fire Clan soldiers, an incomparably huge mass of primal chaos chi floated high in the sky. Within the primal chaos chi, dazzling primal chaos lightning constantly flickered, tearing the void from time to time and rushing out. A powerful figure sat in each of the three directions around the chaotic aura. Each figure was enveloped by the chaotic aura, and the auras they gave off were extremely powerful. These three experts were like chaos gods that walked out from the depths of chaos. There were countless array runes appearing in the void around them. A super array enveloped the entire world. If a formation grandmaster were to witness this scene, he would definitely discover that the location of the incomparably large mass of chaotic chi was actually the eye of the entire chaos formation. The super chaos formation was absorbing the chaotic force in the surroundings, and then pouring it into the formation's eye. It wanted to completely obliterate the living beings within the chaotic force. Boom! Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and a powerful force erupted from the mass of primal chaos chi, causing the entire super chaos formation to shake violently. The creature suppressed in the core of the formation tried to break out of the formation, but countless chaotic lightning bolts suddenly appeared in the mass of chaotic air, interweaving into a layer of chaotic electric net, firmly suppressing the erupting power. It seems like these three fellows really want to fight to the death with those people. In the distant sky, an elder sighed. Rays of light flickered in his eyes. The great chaos slaughtering heaven formation was the formation of the Earth Spirit Clan, and it had not been used for many years. Any expert that had studied formations would be extremely excited at this moment. They would have no regrets in their lives to be able to witness such a great formation. Even if they fight to the death, I'm afraid that both sides will suffer in the end. What? Someone said something like that. Rumble. The creature sealed in the core of the great chaos slaughtering heaven formation seemed to have become ruthless. The energy fluctuations that erupted from the core of the formation grew stronger and stronger. The layer of chaotic electric net formed by countless chaotic lightning bolts actually bulged from time to time, and the chaotic formation runes showed signs of collapsing. Outrageous! I don't believe that I can't refine you little brats. The second Earth Spirit Ancestor was furious. He sat in the void and waved his right hand. 9 large flags immediately flew from his hand and landed in the formation. 9 chaos flags landed in the chaos formation, and there was a chaotic exotic beast faintly visible on each flag. Kill! The 3 Earth Spirit Ancestors roared at the same time. Each of their glabella lit up, and 9 primordial Tao patterns intertwined. The chaotic exotic beasts on the 9 flags seemed to come to life. At the same time, 3 shadows of chaotic exotic beasts rushed out of each of the 3 Earth Spirit Ancestors' glabella. A total of 9 beasts pounced into the formation and entered the chaos flags. Roar! In the next moment, 9 terrifying roars sounded. The chaotic exotic beasts on the 9 chaos flags seemed to come to life, and they actually struggled and rushed out of the chaos flags. The 9 chaotic exotic beasts roared at the sky, and the entire world shook. It was extremely terrifying. Everyone was shocked to see this. No one had expected the Super Chaos formation to have such a transformation. The 9 gigantic Chaos exotic beasts' auras were even stronger than those of the 3 Chaos primogenitors. The power of the extreme Tao spread out. The appearance of the 9 chaotic beasts seemed to be crushing the entire world. Even the extremely powerful figures could not help but be moved at this moment. The East Pole Elder's figure appeared in the distant sky again. Why? Sigh. The East Pole Old Man sighed. This was the last thing he wanted to see. After all, whether it was the Earth Spirit Primogenitor, or the Heavenly Fire Clan warriors trapped in the eye of the Great Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation, it was not easy for them to reach this stage. In the East Pole Elder's opinion, it would not be a good thing if either side was injured. The great calamity was approaching, and preserving their strength was the wisest move. However, even someone as powerful as the East Pole Elder could not control the great calamity. Once the calamity came, everyone could only run. The East Pole Elder had lived for so long, and naturally understood many secrets of the heavens. At this moment, the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation changed again. The 9 chaotic exotic beasts pounced towards the formation eye, and instantly rushed into the mass of chaotic air. In the next moment, the entire mass of chaotic air boiled. Looks like the Heaven Fire Clan can't hold on any longer. Someone sighed and said. The 3 Earth Spirit ancestors were determined to refine the Heavenly Flame battle weapon. At this time, the 3 Stone Demons and the Heaven Fire Clan ancestor were fighting in the depths of the starry sky. The 3 Stone Demons possessed the extreme Tao-level demonic bodies, and they did not hesitate to fight the Heaven Fire Clan ancestor head-on. Boom! Bam! Demonic light and divine light exploded, and the power of the Devil Tao and the power of the Divine Tao collided. The eruption of power directly shattered the void, and shattered the stars. 4 figures moved quickly in the starry sky. With a step, they crossed a small half of the star field, and their tyrannical bodies directly smashed the stars in their way. The battlefield of the 4 powerhouses was very large, and there were fragments of broken stars everywhere on the battlefield. Boom! The Chaos Demon Ape was directly sent flying by the Heaven Fire Clan expert, and it crashed into a few stars before it stabilized itself. Roar! The Chaos Demon Ape roared angrily, and once again pounced on the Heaven Fire Clan ancestor. He did not know how many times he had been sent flying by the Heaven Fire Clan ancestor. At this time, the Great Ing Demon Spider and the Dragon Head Demon attacked the Heaven Fire Clan ancestor at the same time. You demonic creatures, go to hell for me! The Heaven Fire Clan ancestor roared angrily, and a ball of life divine fire erupted from his body, and instantly swept the entire battlefield. The Chaos Demon Ape and the others were instantly engulfed by the divine fire. Roar! The Chaos Demon Ape and the others roared in fear, and in the next moment, they rushed out of the divine fire, and turned into 3 fireballs. The divine fire actually ignited their stone-like demonic bodies, and the powerful stone-like demonic bodies melted like snow under the burning of the divine fire. Boom! The Chaos Demon Ape had to use the full power of the Devil Tao to resist the divine fire. A ball of light rushed out of his body, and 9 primordial demonic marks emerged on his body, dispersing all the divine fire on his body. The Great Ing Demon Spider and Dragon Head Demon had no choice but to use their natal demonic power to disperse the divine fire on their bodies. The attack from the ancestor of the Heavenly Fire Clan had severely injured the 3 Stone Devils at the same time. This shocked and angered the 3 Stone Devils. They didn't expect this fellow to be so powerful. Swoosh! Just as the 3 stone statues extinguished the demonic flames on their bodies, an immortal divine light instantly flew over and flashed across the Chaos Demon Ape's neck. The Chaos Demon Ape's head flew into the air. What? When the Great Ing Demon Spider and the Dragon Head Demon saw this, they were extremely shocked. Swoosh! 2 beams of demonic light soared into the sky and directly rushed towards the East Continent. The Dragon Head Demon and the Extreme Ing Demon Spider directly escaped. Even the Chaos Demon Ape was killed by a sword, let alone them. This old fellow really hid his strength well. The great demon spider said through gritted teeth. At this time, the ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan did not chase after the great demon spider and the dragon head demon. Instead, he held the ancestor's sacred sword in his hand and split the Chaos Demon Ape's head in half. At the moment when the Chaos Demon Ape's head was split in half, a figure wrapped in a ball of demonic light instantly rushed out of the split head and disappeared into the void at an extremely fast speed. What? Seeing this, the ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan was shocked. At the same time, Gu Fei, who had returned to the Chaos Golden Rock clan, suddenly opened his eyes. In the next moment, a ball of demonic light descended from the sky and landed in his hand. It was a little ape sitting in the demonic light. The Chaos Demon Ape was killed? Chapter 3460. The Chaos Demon Ape's demonic body was slain by someone, and only its primordial spirit managed to escape. This shocked Gu Fei greatly. One must know that the Chaos Demon Ape was a powerful existence that possessed extreme power. This kind of existence that possessed extreme power was a different kind of existence. It was far more powerful and terrifying than the average quasi-supremes. The person who was able to slay the Chaos Demon Ape's demonic body was definitely an expert among experts. There was no doubt that this person's cultivation and combat strength were qualified to fight against him. Gu Fei would never underestimate his opponents. He kept the Chaos Demon Ape's primordial spirit, and took a step out of the Chaos Golden Rock clan's rented land and arrived in the starry sky in an instant. At this moment, an extremely powerful divine power erupted in the depths of the starry sky. A huge golden rock appeared in the starry sky. The golden rock was many times larger than the stars. With just a gentle flap of its wings, almost half of the starry sky trembled, and the stars exploded one after another. This scene was extremely terrifying. Song Ke, this bastard, is only making his move now? Gu Fei muttered to himself as he looked at the golden rock in the starry sky. The golden light that erupted from the golden rock's body illuminated the starry sky. The stars that were closer to the golden rock fell from the sky one after another. The stars that were further away were also shaking violently as if they would fall at any time. Humph! A cold laugh was heard. In the starry sky opposite the golden rock, an equally huge figure appeared. A powerful aura that was no weaker than Sun Ke's spread from the figure. The figure was holding a terrifying sword in his hand. I see! Gu Fei finally understood why someone as powerful as the Chaos Demon Ape had its demonic body slain. Boom! At this moment, the starry sky suddenly shook. Song Ke had made his move. The golden rock turned into a golden fireball and charged at the figure opposite it. Such an attack was simple, direct, and powerful. It was not inferior to any divine ability. Swoosh! The figure also unleashed his most powerful and direct attack. An extremely sharp sword light shot out from his hand and slashed at the golden fireball. Clang! An ear-piercing sound of metal colliding resounded. The golden ball of light was blasted away by the sword light, while the figure was forced back 3,000 meters. The mighty energy fluctuations shook the entire starry sky, and pitch-black spatial cracks appeared in the void, like a spider web, enveloping a part of the star field. This was the first clash between the two supreme powers of the divine Tao, but they were evenly matched. The golden ball of light disappeared, and Sun Ke's figure appeared in the starry sky. The two powerhouses were confronting each other. Two terrifying auras spread throughout the star field and even spread to the eastern continent from the star field, spreading far and wide. How could that fellow from the Skyfire clan be so strong? An expert from the east continent exclaimed in shock. The cultivation base and combat prowess displayed by the ancestor of the Skyfire clan far exceeded that of an ordinary ancestor. Who killed one of Gu Fei's subordinates? Gu Fei won't let him off so easily. He's in trouble, an expert from the east continent said. Although the ancestor of the Skyfire clan was powerful, in the eyes of the experts from the east continent, he was definitely no match for Gu Fei. If Gu Fei took action, he would be in trouble. Gu Fei had no intention of taking action. This was Tsung Kei's battlefield. After all, Tsung Kei was also an expert of his generation, and he used to be a supreme god ancestor. Master! At this time, two demon shadows appeared silently behind Gu Fei and knelt down in fear. Gu Fei did not speak. He just looked at the two figures confronting each other in the depths of the starry sky. The cultivation base of Tsung Kei and the ancestor of the Skyfire clan could be said to be on par. Gu Fei ignored the Taiyin demon spider and dragon head demon kneeling behind him. The two experts of the demons were trembling with fear and did not dare to stand up. While Tsung Kei and the ancestor of the Skyfire clan were confronting each other, another battle was still going on in the East Continent. The ancestors of the three clans of the Earth Spirit clan had set up the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation and trapped the 10,000 soldiers of the Skyfire clan in the formation Eye, trying to destroy them. However, the battle soldier of the Heavenly Fire clan was not that weak. Most importantly, it had brought a corner of the extreme Tau formation diagram with it. Otherwise, it would have been obliterated by the power of the Earth Spirit clan's Heaven Slaughtering Primal Chaos formation. In the East Continent, the place where the Skyfire clan was stationed had been destroyed. The Chaos formation in the sky was running crazily, and the power of the extreme Tau was vast. At this time, in the formation Eye of the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation, the 9 chaotic exotic beasts rushed towards the battle formation formed by the Skyfire clan. Boom! With just one strike, the 9 chaotic exotic beasts shook the entire battle formation. The dozens of soldiers that formed the battle formation were instantly crushed into dozens of clouds of blood mist. Their bodies and souls were destroyed. The 9 chaotic exotic beasts were too powerful. They had definitely gathered the power of the entire Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation. They were like the 9 most primitive chaotic beasts, and they might be able to compete with a real extreme Tau supremacy. What? The 3 leaders of the Skyfire clan were indescribably shocked. In the sky above the Skyfire battle formation, there was an ancient formation diagram floating in the air. An incomparably ancient and terrifying aura spread out from it. Although it was only a corner of the formation diagram, the vast power coming from it enveloped the entire Skyfire battle formation. Otherwise, the 9 chaotic exotic beasts would have killed all the Skyfire clan soldiers with just one strike. This is preposterous! It's actually a corner of a true extreme ancient spirit diagram, one of the chaotic exotic beasts said. This was the voice of one of the 3 great Earth spirit ancestors, the second ancestor. The ancestral formation of the Earth Spirit clan was truly amazing. The chaotic exotic beasts on the 9 demonic flags were like the clones of the 3 great Earth Spirit ancestors. This way, any changes in the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation would be sensed by the 3 great ancestors. So what? Destroy it all the same, another chaotic exotic beast said. This was the voice of the 3rd Earth Spirit ancestor. The 3rd ancestor's voice was extremely arrogant. This was also his personality. The 3rd ancestor had always been this arrogant. Although the 4th ancestor looked like a 7 or 8-year-old child, he was the most cautious of the 3 Earth Spirit ancestors. Just be careful. This ancient formation diagram is not ordinary. The 4th ancestor's childish voice sounded. Let's begin. Don't waste time. The 2nd Earth Spirit ancestor said impatiently. Haha, let's begin. The 3rd Earth Spirit ancestor said with a laugh. You! Kill! The 3 leaders of the Heavenly Fire battle troops roared and activated the formation and the ancient formation diagram's power with all their might. Extreme power erupted, causing the entire chaotic void to shake. Io, do you want to risk your life? The 3rd Earth Spirit ancestor laughed. There had never been anyone who could not be killed by the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation. Even with the protection of the ancient formation diagram, it would not last long. Rumble! The 9 exotic beasts attacked at the same time. Endless chaotic light burst from the 9 exotic beasts. The ancient formation diagram in the sky shook and released even more powerful ripples. The ancient formation diagram's power was indeed extraordinary. Although it was only a corner of the formation, it could actually block the Chaos Slaughtering Heaven formation. The Earth Spirit clan had been able to survive in the East Continent for countless years. It was not by chance or luck. If one wanted to survive in the cultivation world, they could only rely on strength. Only a powerful clan and a powerful force could survive in the cultivation world, because this was a world where the strong preyed on the weak. At this moment, the 9 chaotic exotic beasts burst into flames. Countless Tao patterns burst forth from the bodies of the 9 chaotic exotic beasts. Every single Tao pattern was unleashing a tremendous amount of power. Burning the patterns was the most extreme method, and the released power of the Great Path was also the most powerful. Roar! In the next moment, the heavenly fire battle troops that were surrounded by the chaos flames immediately screamed in pain. Every single one of them was set on fire. The chaos flames seemed to have come from within their bodies. In an instant, a small half of the heavenly fire battle troops were turned into ashes, their bodies and souls destroyed. Hum! In the sky above the heavenly fire battle formation, the ancient formation diagram vibrated. A wave of divine light of the Great Path descended from it, and enveloped every heavenly fire battle soldier below. Bathed in the divine light, the heavenly fire battle troops that were about to be burned to ashes were saved. The chaos flames on their bodies were extinguished. Ha! I didn't die! All the surviving heavenly fire battle troops were surprised and overjoyed. They thought that they had escaped from a disaster. However, the leaders of the 3 battle troops were not happy at all because they were not out of danger. The Earth Spirit clan's heaven slaughtering chaos formation was indeed powerful. Those fellows in the clan had miscalculated. They thought that the forces of the East Continent would be easy to deal with. Who would have thought that it would be so difficult to deal with them? The great ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan was very powerful, but there were still many people in the East Continent who could contend with the great ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan. Without the great ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan, the remaining battle troops were in a tragic situation. What should we do? No one wanted to die, especially those from the Heavenly Fire clan. However, it seemed that even if they wanted to risk their lives, their chances of survival were very small. That corner of the ancient spirit diagram was powerful, but once the old ancestor summoned it away, they would be dead for sure. Although the Heavenly Fire battle troops could still hold on, they were relying on the power of the formation diagram. Without the formation diagram, they would not survive for more than a breath. Boom! At the same time, a tremor came from the depths of the starry sky. Sung K and the great ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan, who had been confronting each other, were finally fighting again. Chapter 3461. Sung K and the old ancestor of the Skyfire clan moved. The 2 figures turned into 2 beams of divine light and collided with each other, causing a loud explosion. The 2 figures separated in an instant. The void between them quickly collapsed and was annihilated. A pitch-black chaotic hole appeared in the starry sky. A powerful devouring power surged out from the black hole, and the surrounding stars were all devoured by the black hole. Some of the top experts of the East Continent who were watching the battle from the starry sky couldn't help but be taken aback. These 2 guys had caused such destruction with just 1 attack. They were too strong. Although Sung K isn't the Sung K of the past, he still can't be underestimated, an expert of the older generation said emotionally. Sung K was an invincible existence in the East Continent back then. Only a few people in the entire East Continent were qualified to beat Sung K's opponent. Now Sung K was back. He was still one of the most powerful existences in the East Continent. Boom! The 2 figures collided again. With a loud explosion, another chaotic black hole appeared in the void. This was the most direct confrontation between the 2 experts. There were no fancy tricks. It was a battle of strength. Whoever was stronger could directly overwhelm the other. Both Sung K and the ancestor of the Heavenly Fire clan wanted to defeat each other in the shortest time possible. However, the 2 experts' cultivation bases were almost the same. It was unrealistic to want to determine the winner after 2 simple clashes. It seems that I have to be more serious. Sun Ke moved quickly in the void. He was extremely fast. With every step he took, he instantly crossed a small part of the star region. Countless stars passed by him quickly. Kill! Sun Ke roared, and a pair of golden divine wings appeared on his back. With a flap of the divine wings, countless golden sword lights soared into the sky from the divine wings, piercing through the heavenly fire clan's old ancestor. Every sword light emitted an incomparably powerful wave of sword chi. Wherever they passed, the void was directly cut, leaving pitch-black spatial cracks. Humph! Heaven and earth path of fire! The patriarch of the celestial fire clan roared. His hands danced in front of him, and endless divine fire appeared. Fire-shaped Tao patterns appeared in the flames. The divine fire formed a huge whirlpool, and a heaven-devouring power surged out from the whirlpool, swallowing the countless golden sword lights that pierced through the air. "Here you go!" shouted the ancestor of the Skyfire clan. He pushed his hands forward, and the fiery whirlpool in front of him immediately changed. Boundless fire energy condensed into a huge flaming divine sword that slashed at Sun Quebec. Beneath the flames, there were actually rays of golden light flickering. This was a supreme attack formed from the fusion of the power of fire and the power of the golden rock. Sun Ke couldn't help but be moved. This Skyfire clan's ancestor was very different from ordinary ancestor-level existences. Although he was an ancestor, his cultivation base and battle prowess were many times stronger than ordinary ancestors. Swoosh! Sun Ke opened his mouth and spat out a beam of sword light. Clang! The moment the small beam of golden light collided with the shocking sword light, there was a deafening sound of metal clashing. The seemingly inconspicuous sword light actually cut the huge golden fire divine sword in half. Countless Tao patterns dissipated in the void. What? The ancestor of the Skyfire clan was shocked. The power of his move could definitely kill existences at the ancestor level. Of course, Sun Ke was not an ordinary ancestor. He didn't think that his sword could kill Sun Quebec. At this moment, the shocking sword light formed by the power of fire and the power of the golden rock collapsed. Countless sword chi rushed in all directions, piercing the void. A layer of golden light surged out from Sun Ke's body. The sword lights that pierced through his body shot onto the layer of golden light outside his body. The golden light immediately trembled and rippled with golden ripples. A ball of divine fire emerged from the ancestor of the celestial fire clan, blocking all the sword chi that pierced through him. Haha! Good, very good. It would be too boring if I defeated you so easily. Again. Sun Ke laughed, and his voice shook the star field. An even more powerful murderous aura erupted from his body. He hadn't encountered such an opponent for a long time. Sun Ke licked his lips and stared at the ancestor of the Skyfire clan with a crazy look in his eyes. You're so arrogant, Sun Quebec. You're still as arrogant as before. The ancestor of the Skyfire clan also stared at Sun Ke and said coldly, Who are you? Sun Ke said with a gloomy face. Did this guy know him? Was this guy also an old antique who survived the Great Calamity? Humph, who I am doesn't mean anything to you. The most important thing is that the person who will defeat you today will be me. The murderous aura of the ancestor of the Skyfire clan grew stronger. The surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. Haha! Sun Ke couldn't help but laugh when he heard the words of the ancestor of the Skyfire clan. It was as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. Clang! The sound of a sword rang out, and a flame rushed out from his body. It turned into a peerless divine sword and slashed towards Sun Ke at an extremely fast speed. A wave of sword chi at the extreme Tao level spread out from the sword light. The ancestor of the Skyfire clan directly used the extreme Tao divine sword. He had used this divine sword to slash the supreme demonic body of the Chaos Demon Ape. If he hadn't used the extreme Tao divine sword, it wouldn't have been easy for the ancestor of the Skyfire clan to slash the demonic body of the Chaos Demon Ape. Are they going to get serious? Gu Fei's eyes lit up when he saw this scene in the distant starry sky. It wasn't a secret that the ancestor of the Skyfire clan had mastered the extreme Tao divine sword. With Gu Fei's cultivation, he could easily sense the existence of the extreme Tao divine sword. At this moment, Sun Ke laughed and turned into a golden light that soared into the sky. He stretched out his right hand and a golden divine sword immediately appeared in his hand. This was the extreme Tao divine sword that Sun Ke had used to break the Skyfire clan's ancestors' Skyfire divine sword. Clang! Sun Ke swung his sword. Clang! The golden divine sword in his hand instantly slashed at the extreme Tao divine sword that was piercing towards him. The two divine swords of the extreme path instantly erupted with powerful sword chi. The two great cultivators were both forced back by the power of the other. Streams of sword chi shot out, and wherever it passed, it was as easy as breaking dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. It directly broke through the void of heaven and earth, piercing into the void of space. One of the sword lights actually pierced towards Gu Fei. Gu Fei smiled. He stretched out his right hand and waved gently. The piercing sword light immediately collapsed in the void and dissipated with the wind. Good heavens! Sun Ke could not help but be shocked. The scene was too shocking. Gu Fei actually easily blocked an extreme Tao divine sword light. Although it seemed to be an understatement, there were definitely no more than 5 people in the entire East continent who could shatter extreme Tao divine sword chi with their bare hands. Kill! Kill! The two experts roared at the same time. Their auras were majestic, and their killing intent was shocking. They instantly collided and moved at high speed. The clanging sounds were endless and the battle was extremely intense. Immortal sword lights and saber lights constantly rushed out. At this moment, Gu Fei did not continue watching. He took a step and instantly disappeared into the void. No one could see how he left. Ancestral Sword of Gods, Tomb of the God of Gods? Gu Fei entered the depths of the starry sky in another direction. He used the 8 desolation steps and countless stars flew past him. In just 3 steps, Gu Fei had already arrived at the other end of the starry sky. It was pitch black in front of him. Even with the martial path heavenly eye, he could not see anything. Gu Fei could not help but be shocked. This place was too strange. No one knew what was in front of them. It would not be good if they provoked an incomparably powerful existence. The divine tomb is in front of us? The divine tomb? Gu Fei muttered to himself. This was the address that the mysterious person had left behind. It seemed that this place was definitely the right one. The myriad deity ancestral sword is inside? Gu Fei was shocked. He was very careful and did not immediately approach the pitch-black world in front of him. There was definitely unimaginable danger in the divine tomb. If they were not careful, they would most likely be buried inside and become one of the myriad deity skeletons. At this time, the demon spider and the dragon head demon also chased after them. They trembled as they came behind Gu Fei and continued to kneel. Without Gu Fei's permission, they absolutely did not dare to stand up. What's going on? The demon spider and the dragon head demon were very surprised. They never would have thought that their master would find another strange and mysterious place. The place in front of them made the demon spider and the dragon head demon very apprehensive because they did not know anything about them. As the saying goes, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will always be victorious. They did not even know what was in front of them or what was inside. Under such circumstances, they would definitely not charge in. Barging in now was no different from committing suicide. Get up! Gu Fei did not look at the demon spider and the dragon head demon. Yes, master. The demon spider and the dragon head demon hurriedly stood up. At this time, a figure suddenly rushed out from Gu Fei's body and pounced forward, instantly charging into the pitch-black void in front of them. Chapter 3462. There was a place in the ancestral god realm that none of the gods were willing to set foot in. That was because it was a burial ground. Since ancient times, as long as someone died in the ancestral god realm, they would be sent to that place, and then buried in that burial ground. This burial ground was not above the 5 great continents of the ancestral god realm, but in the depths of the 9-fold star region of the ancestral god realm. To reach here, one had to pass through the ninefold star region. Therefore, only the strong could enter the ninefold star region and find this ancient burial ground that had existed since ancient times. Since ancient times, who knew how many outstanding people had been buried in this burial ground, and even a few supreme existences had been buried here. Even from afar, Gu Fei could see that there were countless stone coffins floating in the pitch-black void in front of him. That is, Gu Fei was very surprised. This was just the outside of the burial ground of the gods, but there were so many floating stone coffins. It seemed that since ancient times, who knew how many experts of the god clan had been buried here. This was the ancestral god realm's tomb of the gods, a burial ground that had existed for countless years. It was also a place that the major god clans of the ancestral god realm were unwilling to set foot in. Without hesitation, Gu Fei immediately sent a clone to investigate the burial ground in front of him. This surprised the great Yin demon spider and the dragon head demon. In their opinion, Gu Fei had always been cautious, but this time, he seemed to be a little impatient. They did not know that Gu Fei had come here because he had received a request for help from an old friend. Gu Fei's clone quickly disappeared in the pitch-black void in front of him. Even Gu Fei could only sense his clone's weak aura. Gu Fei, the great Yin demon spider, and the dragon head demon waited outside, while Gu Fei's clone quickly approached the burial ground of the gods. When he got close, he discovered that behind the countless stone coffins was a continent, a black continent. A terrifying aura of death enveloped the entire black continent. Through the layers of stone coffins in front of him, Gu Fei's avatar discovered that the black continent was also filled with stone coffins. Some of the stone coffins were already broken, and there were god bones scattered around. However, the gods' bones had already lost their divinity and turned into rotten bones. When the wind blew, a layer of grayish-white bone dust would rise from the ground. Gu Fei's clone carefully moved forward. A divine light spread out from his body. This divine light was like countless tentacles, exploring the path for him. He walked into the innumerable stone coffins and passed through them. Some of these sarcophagi were big and some were small. The big ones were like small mountains, making people feel oppressed. The small ones were only the size of a fist, which surprised Gu Fei's clone. However, he soon felt relieved. There were countless god races in the ancestral god realm, and these living beings were all living beings of the divine way. Some living beings of the divine way were huge, while some were small. This was a very normal thing. There was definitely unimaginable danger in such a place. It was not a good place to be. However, what puzzled Gu Fei's clone was that he actually passed through the void of the floating stone coffins unscathed. Then, he stepped onto the black continent. However, the moment he stepped onto the black continent, a terrifying roar came from the depths of the black continent. The countless floating stone coffins in the void actually vibrated at the same time. What's happening? Gu Fei's clone was shocked. Then, he saw the lid of a stone coffin beside him suddenly fly up with a bang. With a loud bang, the heavy coffin lid flew out and smashed heavily on the ground. A corpse came back to life? Gu Fei's clone immediately tensed up. He saw two arms suddenly stretch out from the stone coffin, and then, a black shadow flew out from the stone coffin. The black shadow pounced directly at Gu Fei's clone. This black shadow was shrouded in a corpse aura, and a kind of rotten aura spread from its body. Humph! Gu Fei's clone moved. He took a step to the right, and instantly dodged the black shadow's attack. Then, he used his left hand as a blade and directly slashed at the black shadow. A dazzling blade light immediately rushed out from his hand and fiercely slashed at the black shadow, sending it flying. Gu Fei's clone was a little surprised to see that his hand blade did not cut the immortal's corpse in half. One must know that, with the cultivation and battle strength of Gu Fei's clone, a single chop from his hand was definitely enough to cut a quasi-supreme being into two. However, this immortal's corpse was only slightly scratched by the blade light when it was struck by him. Swoosh! The immortal's corpse pounced at Gu Fei's clone again after missing its target. The corpse aura spread out and gradually enveloped the surrounding void. This kind of corpse aura could actually corrode the void, which surprised Gu Fei's clone again. Gu Fei's clone's body movement technique was extremely fast, and he once again dodged. He did not dare to let the immortal's corpse get close to him. This thing was too disgusting, and he could not avoid it in time. You can't rest in peace even if you're dead. Let me help you get rid of it. As Gu Fei's clone spoke, he directly slapped at the immortal's corpse. A ball of divine light emerged from his palm and instantly enveloped the immortal's corpse. Roar! The immortal's corpse roared angrily, and its body was covered with a vast corpse aura. Even Gu Fei's clone could not help but be moved when he saw its ferocious face. The immortal's corpse that was enveloped by the divine light kept emitting corpse aura. The corpse aura could actually temporarily block the divine light, which surprised Gu Fei's clone. However, this immortal's corpse could not block for long. Very soon, the corpse aura on the immortal's corpse was completely refined by the divine light. The immortal's corpse gradually stopped struggling, and a remnant soul emerged from the immortal's corpse. It then nodded at Gu Fei's clone and disappeared into the void with a smile. In the next moment, the immortal's corpse was also enveloped by the divine light, and it turned into dust and disappeared into the void. Rumble! Just as Gu Fei's clone refined the immortal's corpse, there was a series of rumbling sounds in the surroundings. The scattered stone coffins were shaking. The things in the stone coffins seemed like they could break out at any time. Above the trembling stone coffins, traces of black aura began to emerge. That was corpse aura. Only the immortal's corpse that had undergone corpse transformation would become those terrifying corpse spirits. These corpse spirits did not have any consciousness, and only knew how to kill. They were the lowest level of corpse spirits. Gu Fei's clone knew that there were definitely high-level corpse spirits in the depths of the graveyard of the gods. Those corpse spirits were not comparable to these low-level corpse spirits. He directly rushed into the depths of the graveyard of the gods and quickly left the place. Boom! Just as Gu Fei's clone left, a stone coffin directly exploded, and a ferocious and terrifying corpse spirit directly broke out of the coffin. Boom! Another loud sound rang out, and another stone coffin exploded. Powerful corpse spirits also rushed out of the stone coffin. As the stone coffins continued to explode, or the coffin lids flew off, the corpse spirits that were originally trapped in the stone coffins all rushed out. Very soon, the surroundings were filled with corpse spirits that were surrounded by corpse aura. After these corpse spirits rushed out of the stone coffins, they floated around. Yes, floated. These corpse spirits' feet did not touch the ground, and they floated in the void about a foot above the ground. Although these low-level corpse spirits did not have their own consciousness, they moved very quickly and could also capture the vitality in the void. Very soon, these corpse spirits sensed the vitality of Gu Fei's clone, and then they chased in the direction that Gu Fei's clone disappeared. At this time, Gu Fei's clone did not know that so many low-level corpse spirits were chasing after him. He carefully moved forward. The surroundings were quiet, and there were stone coffins scattered everywhere. These stone coffins were disorderly, and some of them had long been broken, and the corpses inside had also fallen out. Countless bones were scattered on the ground. These bones did not have any divinity, and they had long been lost. Without divinity, divine bones naturally could not be called divine bones. That is, at this time, Gu Fei's clone turned around a short hill, but he had no choice but to stop. He saw a stone forest in front of him. There were no stone coffins or skeletons around the stone forest. However, there were countless stone coffins lying on top of the stone forest. Some of the stone rods were stained with blood. Even after countless years, the blood on the stone rods had not been erased. Corpse aura lingered in the stone forest. Because of the darkness, Gu Fei's clone could not clearly see what was in the stone forest. Go around it? Gu Fei's clone muttered to himself. He stared at the stone forest in front of him, wanting to see what was inside, but in the end, he did not see anything. If there was another way, Gu Fei's clone would definitely not enter the stone forest in front of him. However, if he wanted to leave this place, it seemed that he could only pass through the stone forest. He could not even take a detour, which made Gu Fei's clone very depressed. There was no other way. Gu Fei's clone could only walk forward and cautiously enter the stone forest. The moment he entered the stone forest, he only felt dizzy as if he had entered another world. What's going on? Gu Fei's clone looked around in shock. He was shocked to find that he had actually entered a world filled with spiritual energy. In front of him, there was a celestial mist, and there were actually 3 fairies walking towards him. Waves of celestial music lingered in the void. This was not mortal music, but heavenly music that could redeem oneself and others. Illusion? Gu Fei fiercely bit the tip of his tongue. The intense pain immediately shook his mind, and the illusion in front of him immediately disappeared. He was shocked to find that there were 3 low-level zombie spirits walking towards him step by step. In the hands of the zombie spirits, the black claws were like 10 incomparably sharp little swords. Damn it! Chapter 3463. In the graveyard of the gods, Gu Fei's clone encountered a stone forest blocking his way. He was also surrounded by mountain ridges. He wanted to take a detour, but it seemed a little unrealistic. In that case, he had no choice but to go through the stone forest. After making up his mind, Gu Fei's clone walked into the stone forest and cautiously advanced towards its depths, not daring to be careless. In a place like this, the consequences would be dire if he wasn't careful. However, no matter how careful Gu Fei's clone was, he still fell for the trick. All of a sudden, the void around him changed. An illusion. The eerie and terrifying stone forest instantly turned into a land of immortals, surrounded by immortal weapons. Amidst the immortal mist, 3 celestial immortals walked towards Gu Fei's clone. Although he knew that it was an illusion, Gu Fei's clone was still shocked because the feeling was too real. It was as if he was really in the immortal realm. Humph! Gu Fei's clone opened his heavenly eye, and the surrounding illusions immediately disappeared. He saw that the celestial immortals walking towards him were 3 hideous zombie spirits. The 3 low-level zombie spirits roared and charged towards Gu Fei's doppelganger. Gu Fei's clone extended his right hand and grabbed at the void with his 5 fingers. A powerful immortal force immediately rushed out of his hand, and a divine sword immediately appeared in his hand. Although it wasn't a real divine sword, the sword she had emitted was much stronger than a real divine sword. Swoosh! When the 3 low-level zombie spirits rushed in front of him, Gu Fei's clone waved his right hand. A dazzling sword light flashed through the void, and the heads of the 3 low-level zombie spirits flew up. There was no splattering of blood. These low-level zombie spirits only knew how to kill and had no consciousness of their own. The divine blood in their bodies had long since solidified and no longer flowed. However, a strange scene appeared. Although the 3 corpse spirits were beheaded by Gu Fei's clone, the headless corpse spirits still pounced on Gu Fei's clone. Without their heads, the 3 corpse spirits did not seem to affect their movements. Swoosh! Gu Fei's doppelganger waved his right hand again, and the 3 headless zombie spirits were directly chopped in 2 by the swordlight that rushed out of his hand. This time, the 3 zombie spirits could no longer stand up. However, to Gu Fei's avatar's surprise, the limbs of the zombie spirits scattered on the ground were still moving. Gu Fei's doppelganger ignored these corpse spirits and continued forward. At this moment, a black aura suddenly surged in front of the stone forest. A heart-palpitating aura of destruction spread out from the depths of the stone forest. This black aura seemed to be able to corrode the void, and the void shrouded by the black aura seemed to be annihilated. Naturally, Gu Fei's doppelganger didn't dare to be careless. A ball of immortal light immediately emerged from his body and enveloped him. The ball of immortal light around his body immediately dimmed when the black aura arrived. The black aura was corroding the protective immortal light of Gu Fei's doppelganger. There seemed to be a black shadow looming in the black aura, which surprised Gu Fei's doppelganger. Could there be something hiding in the black aura, waiting for an opportunity to sneak up on him? Just as Gu Fei's doppelganger was bewildered, he saw a black shadow flash, and then with a bang, the black shadow directly collided with the protective immortal light of Gu Fei's doppelganger. What? Gu Fei's doppelganger was startled. The black shadow that collided with his protective immortal light was actually a black skeleton, and there was a black flame dancing in the skull of the skeleton. The black skeleton was sent flying by the immortal light and disappeared in the black aura. Gu Fei's doppelganger couldn't sense the existence of the black skeleton at all. The black skeleton seemed to have blended into the darkness and disappeared without a trace. Bam! There was another muffled sound as another black skeleton collided with the protective immortal light of Gu Fei's doppelganger. However, this skeleton also failed to break through the immortal light of Gu Fei's doppelganger and was knocked back. These black skeletons seemed to be much stronger than the low-level zombie spirits. They seemed to have some basic self-awareness, and there was a soul flame dancing in their skulls. Gu Fei's doppelganger continued to move forward. Kacha! There was a sound under his feet. He looked down and saw that he had crushed a bone. The ground around him was littered with black bones. From time to time, black skeletons would silently pounce at him from within the black aura. Humph! Gu Fei's doppelganger suddenly emitted a dazzling golden light. It was as if a golden sun had suddenly appeared in the dusky stone forest. The surrounding black aura quickly dissipated like snow under the illumination of the divine sun. The black skeletons hidden in the black aura were illuminated by the divine light of the immortal path. The black skeletons were shocked and immediately retreated into the black aura. However, at this moment, Gu Fei's doppelganger heard footsteps coming from the front. Soon, a skeleton passed through the black aura and strode toward Gu Fei's doppelganger. A powerful aura of death spread out from the skeleton. This wasn't an ordinary skeleton. This skeleton was different from the others. Its bones were white. The skeleton was sparkling and translucent like a peerless piece of divine jade, and a powerful wave of divinity emanated from it. In particular, within the skull of this white skeleton, there was actually a 7-colored soul fire pulsating. Gu Fei's doppelganger was shocked to see such a skeleton. However, he quickly calmed down and made a decisive move. Bam! The fist of Gu Fei's doppelganger collided with the white skeleton's fist. The sound of bones breaking rang out, and the two figures quickly separated. The white skeleton crashed into a stone pillar and stopped. The stone pillar shook, and a lot of dust fell from it. What a powerful force! At this time, Gu Fei's doppelganger also stabilized his body. He stared at the white skeleton in front of him, and felt a sharp pain coming from his fist. His fingers didn't break, but cracks appeared on the white skeleton's hand. It was as if a light touch would instantly shatter it. Interesting, let's do it again, Gu Fei's doppelganger said coldly. He then took a step forward and instantly disappeared into the void. His speed was so fast that it made people's hearts palpitate. However, what shocked Gu Fei's doppelganger was that the opponent's speed was also very fast. The opponent could actually catch up with his speed. The two figures moved quickly in the stone forest. Muffled sounds of collision were constantly heard. Gu Fei's doppelganger was actually blocked by the white skeleton. Bam! The white skeleton was once again knocked back by the fist of Gu Fei's doppelganger. Its back hit a stone pillar, and the stone pillar shook from the impact. Eat my kick! Gu Fei's doppelganger roared angrily. He directly leaped up and kicked at the white skeleton at an extremely fast speed. The white skeleton quickly bent over and rolled, dodging the kick of Gu Fei's doppelganger. Bam! Gu Fei's kick did not hit the white skeleton. Instead, it kicked the stone pillar behind the white skeleton. In the next moment, the tens of feet tall stone pillar was actually broken by the kick of Gu Fei's doppelganger. Rumble! The stone pillar fell from the sky, and the stone forest was filled with a loud sound. Dust flew everywhere, and the aura of death that enveloped the entire stone forest was also dispersed. Swoosh! At this moment, a white light flashed in the void. Gu Fei's doppelganger instantly felt that his protective immortal light was broken. How is this possible? Gu Fei's doppelganger was extremely shocked. At this moment, his waist was hit by something, and his entire body was sent flying. A piercing pain surged into his head. Good heavens! Gu Fei's doppelganger could not help but admire the white skeleton. This white skeleton could actually hit him. Such a thing rarely happened. Very well, you have successfully angered me. Gu Fei's doppelganger rushed over from afar. In the next moment, a huge hand appeared in the void and directly slapped at the white skeleton. This was a martial arts combat technique, the heaven-covering palm. As soon as this heaven-covering palm was used, it naturally cut off all the escape routes of Gu Fei's doppelganger. The seven-colored primordial spirit fire in the white skeleton's skull emitted a dazzling flame. The seven-colored divine flame erupted from the white skeleton's skull and burned towards the huge chaotic hand that was slapping at it. The seven-colored divine flame burned the void and destroyed it, blocking the heaven-covering palm of Gu Fei's doppelganger. The power of the white skeleton's seven-colored divine flame was frighteningly great. Even the sky-covering palm that Gu Fei's clone had unleashed gradually dimmed, as if it could completely dissipate at any time. At this moment, the white skeleton suddenly soared into the sky and directly attacked Gu Fei's doppelganger. It waved its hands, and rays of immortal light rushed out from its hands, turning into immortal swords, and slashed at Gu Fei's doppelganger. The cold sword she spread out, and the impact caused the surrounding temperature to drop. Humph! Gu Fei's doppelganger waved his sleeves, and the immortal swords that slashed at it immediately collapsed in the void, turning into specks of spiritual light and dissipating in the void. At this moment, the mighty seven-colored divine flame from the white skeleton's skull burned towards Gu Fei's doppelganger. Dissolve! Gu Fei's doppelganger directly used the secret art of void, one of the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. The power of the secret art of void spread out from its hands. More than half of the seven-colored divine flame was instantly dissolved by the power of the secret art of void. The power of the secret art of void turned the seven-colored divine flame into nothingness. What? Sensing that its strength was constantly being drained, the white skeleton was extremely shocked. If its strength was absorbed by the other party, then wouldn't it be dead? Chapter 3464. In the graveyard of the gods, in a strange stone forest, Gu Fei's clone was fighting against a white skeleton. The white skeleton's battle prowess was extremely strong, and the soul fire in its skull was actually seven-colored divine flames. The skeleton was different from the others. It was not something low-level undead spirits could compare to. Rumble! The sound of wind and thunder could be heard coming from the skeleton's skull. The seven-colored divine flame flickered violently. Powerful waves of energy rippled out from the skull, shaking the entire world. However, under the influence of Gu Fei's clone's secret art of nothing, the skeleton's power was constantly weakening. The skeleton's power was quickly being worn away. The secret art of nothing, one of the 9 secrets of the immortal path, possessed unfathomable power. It could turn all power in the world into nothingness. At that moment, Gu Fei's clone emitted a towering divine light. He was like a supreme immortal descending from the heavens, appearing incomparably holy. The power of the secret art of nothing enveloped a part of the sky and the skeleton at the same time. The divine power that was surging out from White Bone's skeleton's body was constantly being refined. The bone patterns also dissipated into the void, which made White Bone's skeleton inexplicably shocked. You! The white skeleton was both shocked and angry. If this continued, its divine power would be completely refined by the opponent's secret technique, and then it would die. Boom! In the next moment, an incomparably dazzling divine light burst out from the skull of the white skeleton. Colorful divine flames spread out, and a large area of the void was directly annihilated. The white skeleton was going all out. The seven-colored divine flame actually broke through the power of the secret word, Wu, which startled Gu Fei's clone. Whoosh! The entire skeleton was burning up, turning into a seven-colored divine light, rushing out of the void that was covered by the power of the secret art of nothingness. However, even after the skeleton had charged out, the skeleton was still greatly injured. Cracks appeared on its bones. There were even a few cracks on his skull. Whoosh! The white skeleton directly rushed into the depths of the stone forest, and instantly disappeared into the stone forest. It had actually escaped directly. What? Gu Fei's clone froze. Wasn't this guy a little too cowardly? How could it run away just like that? Gu Fei's avatar was very surprised that the white skeleton had escaped. However, this also meant that there was a powerful creature entrenched in the depths of the stone forest. It did not seem to be an easy task to pass through this stone forest. I've already come this far. Do I have to go back? Gu Fei's clone muttered to himself as he looked in the direction where the white skeleton had disappeared. Then, he strode forward. No matter what danger lay ahead, he would press forward. The stone forest ahead was much cleaner. There were very few skeletons on the ground, but this made Gu Fei's clone even more cautious. Just as he was walking, there was suddenly boom! A stone pillar in front of him suddenly moved, uprooting itself from the ground and smashing towards him. Humph! Gu Fei's clone snorted coldly and waved his right hand. A dazzling sword light immediately rushed out of his hand and split the stone pillar in half. The two halves of the stone pillar flew to both sides. However, at this moment, a black shadow silently pounced out of the stone pillar that Gu Fei's clone had split open. It instantly pounced in front of Gu Fei's clone. Gu Fei's clone was taken aback by the gloomy and terrifying aura that came surging towards him. Gu Fei's clone did not even think about it. He immediately performed one of the 9 secrets of Immortal Path, the Void Reflection secret technique. In an instant, his body became transparent, as if he had become one with the surrounding void. The black shadow that was pouncing towards him actually passed through his faintly discernible figure, as if it was pouncing on air. What? The black shadow was shocked. At the same time, an eternal ray of immortal light suddenly tore through the void and struck the black shadow. The black shadow shrieked miserably before it was dispersed by the immortal light. Both its body and soul had been destroyed. Trying to sneak up on me? Gu Fei's clone appeared out of thin air and solidified once more. At this moment, black shadows began to appear in the stone forest ahead. Countless black shadows emerged from the depths of the stone forest. A terrifying aura of destruction enveloped the entire stone forest. The black shadows pounced at Gu Fei's clone like wisps of black smoke. The black shadows did not have a body of flesh and blood. They were existences that existed between a soul and a soul. Because they did not have a body of flesh and blood, the black shadows moved astonishingly quickly. They flashed through the air and instantly pounced at Gu Fei's clone. The tremendous power of destruction radiating from the black shadows corroded the surrounding space. If the black shadows were to pounce on a living being with a body of flesh and blood, the black shadows would most likely devour all of their blood and chi in an instant, turning them into skeletons. Gu Fei's clone naturally would not let the strange and terrifying black shadows get close to him. In the next moment, the divine immortal light on his body shone brightly. Immortal music seemed to be playing within the light, as if celestial maidens were singing. It was as if an immortal realm was faintly discernible within the light. The black shadows all dodged under the illumination of the immortal light, as if they were extremely afraid of it. Gu Fei's clone became spirited upon seeing this. The black shadows were afraid of the immortal light. The black silhouettes that charged at the front crashed into the celestial light that emerged from Gu Fei's clone. In the next moment, the black silhouettes struggled and dissipated in the celestial light. The immortal light was absolutely fatal to these special existences. Being struck by the immortal light would instantly destroy one's body and soul. The black shadows all dodged and hid behind the surrounding stone pillars. They did not dare to be struck by the immortal light that shone from Gu Fei's clone. Rumble! At that moment, the world shook as a powerful aura of death descended from the sky. This is... Gu Fei's clone looked up and was instantly shocked. He saw a huge city descending from the sky, landing above the stone forest. A terrifying aura of destruction spread out from the huge city in the sky, causing Gu Fei's clone to feel incomparably pressured. The energy fluctuations coming from the ancient city were simply too powerful. Even as strong as Gu Fei's clone was, he found it a little difficult to breathe. What the hell?